Hello, everybody, and welcome to Final Show Films. I'm John, your executive producer here, and thanks for tuning in to watch or listen to whatever it is you're about to watch or listen to. In these trying times, we really do appreciate everyone that feels that we are worth their time, and we hope that we're able to give you something entertaining to while away the time as you spend it. We particularly want to thank those of you that feel like we're worth financially contributing to, particularly our $25 and up supporters on Patreon, who are Antitonic, Drevian Alexander, Cat Waterflame, Rowan Parker, and Samantha Bates. Yes, I read that off of a list. Thank you very much for supporting us. I know that in these uncertain times, finances are tough for everybody, so that you're willing to donate to us means a lot to all of us here, and we thank you. That being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Gran, Terra, Shadowfront. I'm John, your game master for the evening, returning to you once again from my very comfy chair. And I'm joined today by Nikki.
Hi everyone, it's me, Nikki. I'm tired, but I'm playing your Goblin Rogue Scuzz with Black Lives Matter.
Yes,
it's going to be a very slow session for me today. Sorry.
What are you talking about? I'm also joined.
Absolutely.
I'm also joined by William.
Hi, I'm William, and I am playing Valdeth, the Dwarven Samurai. And I am also tired, but for different reasons.
And Jeremy.
Okay, I'm Jeremy. I am also tired because, everything. Just fucking everything. I'm playing Ariel, a Summer Gunslinger.
We're all tired all the time. And Jack.
I mean, 2020, right?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, I'm Jack. I'm playing Gentmanar, the half-elf spellslinger, and I will join the Team Tired.
Team Tired! Woo!
Team tired.
Team
The actual
tired.
session is us just taking a nap.
3 hours
Again, is back
of
to bed.
Riveting.
3 hours
Riveting
of you guys napping and
entertainment.
me just talking over you.
I mean, this is a fantasy role-playing game. So no, we will be doing what we wish we were doing in real life, which is napping in character.
There you go.
Whole game. Roll a nap.
And Cody, you failed to nap. You have insomnia.
God damn it!
I'm Cody.
Just like real life.
Oh yeah. I'm Cody, and I am also on Team Tired. And I'm playing Ithram Volar, Hobgoblin War Wizard.
And Mara.
Hi, I'm Mara, and I'm playing Tanya Valkorian, Aladdin Druid Princess.
Too much energy.
Yep.
Yeah, wait.
It's gotta be
I
one.
haven't even had
Mara,
caffeine
Mara,
today.
You're about at a here. I need you at a
Too
here.
late.
No, I'm
Too
kidding.
late.
Just like, I'm tired. Hi, I'm Mara.
I've had a coffee too.
So we have the person who is not on Team Tired right now.
And Aaron.
Hi, I'm Aaron. If you need evidence that I'm tired, I didn't actually wake up on time for this stream. And I'm playing Carolina, human barbarian artificer.
When last we left off, the group was in the claws of a dragon. Fortunately, it's a friendly dragon who is flying you home. Titania, whose ether has been very off for the past several days, you suddenly feel a warmth flowing into you.
Ooh.
As you
Okay,
feel
that's-
this sort of fire-like energy filling every aspect of your being. As you are becoming suffused with ether from the dead dragon whose blood is still on the claws of the dragon carrying you. Which seems to be orienting your ether properly.
Oh. Okay, apparently I just needed to bathe in blood. Well, that's
Dragon blood, specifically. Woo!
That's definitely a druid thing.
Super
Maybe.
duper druid thing.
You don't have
I don't know.
You're not bathing in it. It's just around and passively leaking ether, which
metaphorically.
you are sort of absorbing.
Okay.
Probably that the area is ether rich right now.
Okay.
It
Sure.
feels invigorating.
Yeah. All right. Cool. We're flying in a dragon. This is pretty cool.
Isn't it great? His head is out.
It
of
is.
The dragon claw just in the wind. just absolutely like a dog. I'm not doing that.
There's
I'm good at Dungeons and Dragons and acting.
That's what I'm here for. I make the sound effects.
Did
Oh.
we're going back to Taram though. I was having trouble focusing. Right?
Indeed, that is correct.
Good.
There's
Right.
just this ambient coming from outside the claw. Underneath all this conversation.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, is Ariel
Okay.
is Ariel in the claw now, or did Ariel go back under the scale underneath the wing?
No, Ariel's probably on the claw at this point.
Oh, Ithram, you look kind of impressionistic.
I don't know what that means.
Your face is a little melty looking.
Yes. One of the half dragons spit on me while you were also heaving in the corner.
That's somebody's kink.
That looks worse.
I'm so sorry. I'll go back outside.
It doesn't hurt so
Like-
much
I like-
anymore, just more numbness. So
You okay?
I mean, the
I'll-
problem is if you go outside, you fall.
I like to think that Gent is paying attention to the conversation and just has an arm out on Scuzz's belt.
Just in case.
You know, right? He's just
Do you? Okay, I'm gonna do some healing here.
that would be appreciated.
You're
I wasn't
welcome.
quite sure if you were up to it, but now
I
that
think
you're
so. I think so. I'm gonna try it.
yeah, you're speaking a lot more, so that seems to be a good indication.
It's fair. So do cure wounds, third level.
Speaking more, vomiting less. That's always a good
Yeah.
sign.
Third cast.
And yeah,
22 hit points back.
Your ether seems to be flowing properly once again as you successfully cast your spell.
34.
Did they change the way higher level casts work?
Did I do that weirdly?
No, it's like the UI looks different.
Oh, well, I did it from the first level because I didn't want to scroll down.
No, yeah,
Maybe that's why.
that's what I mean. Like normally
Yes,
when you
that
cast at a
changed.
higher level, it has like the base spell and then the higher level dice in the separate part.
I don't know. I did
Yeah,
it
they
from the
definitely
first level
changed it.
and then
They definitely
like
changed it.
tagged it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like you now no longer have to do more basic arithmetic after
Which-
you cast the spell.
Which is great.
Good roll 20.
Yeah.
Good on you for doing that after fucking
Well,
forever.
that's not roll 20. This is the beyond one. Anyway.
It's still
It's the roll 20 UI.
It's roll
Yeah.
20's UI, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyways,
Welcome.
Well, once we do land, then we need to get a relief caravan going, I suppose, right? Yes?
Mhm.
Yes, that's going to be the plan, Valdez says as she like very carefully bandages some of the applies some salve to some of the very the burn marks that have from when some of it splashed on her.
Do you want some healing?
It wouldn't be amiss.
Okay. How hurt are you? I don't know. I know Ithram got hurt really bad.
I am just over halfway wounded,
Okay.
which for numerical purposes, I have taken 42 damage out of my 76 hit points.
Okay, I'll do a third level on you as well. Let's do cure wounds.
And that's after I did my second wind.
17.
Yay! I get the equivalent of my second wind again.
Hey.
That's nice.
There we go.
Perhaps
Anyone else need healing?
No,
Let's see.
I was a perfect size to dance behind the kobolds and not get hit by anything. It was great.
Nice.
I'm perfectly fine.
Okay.
it's around this
Well.
time that you all suddenly feel pressure as if you were diving.
I'm somewhat less fine.
Here we go.
Looking through the claws that where Scuzz's head is, you see the city of Taram fast approaching.
How is his neck not broke at this point?
I have a thing I can do. Hang on. I cast Skyrite.
Oh no.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
no.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right, what are you causing him to
This
appear in
can
the sky?
only end in tears.
I'm gonna write
10 words.
10 words.
Condor
Oh
calls
shit.
parade.
10 words.
Yeah, you have a 10-word limit.
Yeah, this ain't sending.
Oh shit. Don't worry about the dragon. It's us. The steel hearts.
Yes.
The little heart.
So the clouds below Max form this sentence. Max then dives through the O in dragon.
If you could go through the heart, that'd be nice.
As you all feel a rumbling, as Max lands kind of roughly on the upper city clock tower.
Question: Did Titania cast it so it was readable from our side or the ground side?
That's an important question.
Mara? You know, you don't think about it normally because normally you're on the ground, but in this case you're
No,
casting it.
I
Oh,
probably
yeah.
would have done it, so we could read it as we're going through.
So you
So
all
it's
can read
mirror
this,
message.
and it's backwards for everyone below.
Yeah, you gotta hold a mirror up and you'll be able to read it just fine.
The gunslinger, who is a little bit more aware of spatial perception and angles, is like, well, that will be useful.
So
One person just fixing
so
their
then-
makeup with the mirror.
The
just
people on
happens
the
to sit
ground
behind
cannot
them.
read that.
You are all rocked by the collision as Max lands on the tower.
I think Valdeth is laughing as hard as I am right now.
And the massive claw opens to reveal you all on one of the airship landings.
Hey.
Gingerly walk off.
Right.
There's
Thank
a...
you for the ride, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Pushes off and flies away. You see these large dragon claw marks in the side of the tower from where he grabbed on.
That's gonna take
Cool.
forever to buff out.
And there is
I should leave it.
a voice called that just sort of echoes from a little bit further up the landing pad. What is going on? It's a voice you recognize,
Okay.
Tanya.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Is it your uncle?
As you all turn and look and see a tall, imperious-looking elven woman with light blonde hair, the color of the sun rays. Very stern-looking face, wearing very well-appointed red robes with gold lining, and holding a staff. And is sort of looking dead at Titania.
Hi.
Okay, back to business mode. Valdeth says as she finally contains her laughter.
Titania?
That's 24 to hide.
Why?
Hang on. Give me 1 second. Hang on.
Gint, why are you behind me? Are you trying to think
What?
Scuzz did?
Why are you behind me?
Ariel's just brushing off like, listen, any dragon landing you can walk away from is a good one. Oh, hello.
With a
Hi, Mom. Titania's
Yeah,
mom.
no, I.
with a 24 on her perception check,
Oh shit.
God
Minar, you are not hiding.
Valdeth sort of very, very forcefully, like calming her laughter, steps forward. Okay. Afternoon, ma'am.
Valdeth. Our eyes are still locked with Titania. She called you out without turning your gaze,
yeah.
Gent.
Yep.
We
Afternoon
just
news,
had
Dr. Hogan.
a ride back. We were assisting with a matter of supply with Morvick Dune, and
Oh, yes, actually, Morvick Dune is under siege and we need to get a supply caravan heading their way now that we've cleared the dangers off the roads that was stopping the last caravan from getting there.
It was a dragon.
We
Not that one. No.
We had help from that dragon.
Oh yes, it was a different dragon.
The
A bad dragon, a really bad dragon.
her staff ends in this sort of crystal formation, which lights up as she raises a hand, and you see her eyes begin to glow as she seems to stare off, breaking her contact only for the moment with Titania, as she stares off into space magically. Yes, I can
Magical
see
space.
they are currently on. I can see that they are currently under siege.
Indeed.
We need to arrange supply caravans heading back to Morvick Dune.
Very well. I will put in a request for that to happen. In the meantime, I would suggest the group of you return home, tidy yourselves up. She then looks at Tanya. And come visit sometimes.
I visited right before we left for
I know.
You weren't there.
I know.
I'll come by shortly.
We'll make sure she stops by.
We're a very family-friendly. group of
Pleasure as
Griffins.
always.
She nods. And she moves
Gent pats Scuzz on the head twice. The second one is less of a pat and more of a flick.
She moves over to one side and taps her staff on the landing and waves a hand in the air, and you see this multicolored series of sigils and runes envelop the tower as all the damage that was just done to it reverses itself in time until it's no longer damaged.
Tanya, can you do that one day? No.
Do I recognize
Let's
that, perhaps?
You mean our contract?
Let's head home, shall we?
I want to do it too.
Sure, why not?
Yay, I'm smarter than
You know
it's
what? You know
only
what?
so that she
16.
can be
Yeah, there you go.
mad about it.
16. I'm using it right at the beginning.
Yeah,
Perfect.
do it.
Awesome.
The identification...
Yep,
the
typical.
The
Fucking
identification...
typical.
The identification DC for a spell is 10 plus its level. So only Carolina recognizes this.
Holy shit.
This is a spell. This seems to be a spell of her own devising, which operates similar to the mending spell, but on a much larger scale, in that it reverses the flow of time on a specific inanimate object to the point before it was damaged.
Right.
It is an 8th level spell, which is why it works on anything.
Carolina doesn't share that information. Shockingly enough.
Ithram tries to piece it out, though. He's just in his head, just like,
It's the math symbols.
Right, yeah.
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 So, I would need to request that if we can, please get word to us when the caravans are heading out, because we were contracted by Morvick Dune to get back here and get word out. So we should probably also accompany the caravans back.
Certainly. I am fully capable of getting messages to people.
Thank you.
Like hella capable.
Let's move along, everyone. Head home.
Don't let Scuzz talk anymore. Don't.
Carolina very much looks like the guard who's in the background of the scene, who's like, yeah, I'm totally here. This is not weird at all.
Are
That's
you
right.
Legolas in all the
Opinions
scenes
on
that
this
aren't
matter.
focused on him? Just like
The group of you make your way into the tower, into the elevator that takes you down.
Gent walks off the edge and just walks down the outside.
oh, I thought you said he walks up and he just dies. He just dies at this point.
Minar, take the elevator.
Ooh.
Yes, ma'am.
Ooh. Ooh, shit.
And he hauls ass into the elevator after everybody else.
Titania, your mother's eyes continue to follow you. until the door closes and the elevator begins to drop.
Valdeth.
You can tell she was in a summer mood.
Yeah, that was a...
Valdeth is laughing again for a different reason now.
I have no idea what is going on.
For the God's sake. The hell is wrong with you people?
I don't think your mother likes me.
All of us, or just some of us?
I apologize to Tanya. I'm only laughing because I know I'd be getting the exact same thing from my mother if she was the one standing right there.
To Tanya, you know your mother well enough that she doesn't care a whit about Gent at all right now, like or hate.
No, yeah, she's fine with you. That's just her. Everyone.
She doesn't know my name yet. Your
what?
mom didn't talk to me like that.
She knows the three of our names because we're the noble circle that sort of.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Gent
Should I
sort of
write her a letter?
self-consciously shoves the signet ring back down underneath his shirt because he's been wearing it openly since we left Taram. But
Love it.
Well, we're back. And we've got she's gonna take care of that part of things, so that's all good. We just have to wait for a word to come back. Back to the house. Drop off
Okay.
stuff.
what do I know about the political situation between? Can Gent make any sort of assumption based on the political situation as he knows it between Morvikdun and Taram as to where this sort of thing might fall on their priority list?
Give me either a history check or a survival check.
I'm going with history.
I'm gonna go with survival.
17.
I can make that too.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm curious what I would know. 21.
You both know that Morvikdun is an allied city-state. Like it's an independent entity within the realm, like within bounds of like the land. It's kind of like how Vatican City is technically independent from Italy, even though it's in Italy's like territory.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But
Well,
it's an independent city-state, but it is still an ally, and still a both financial and militaristic concern. So it's definitely going to be pretty high on their list, especially if someone as well established within the government of Taram as Titania's mother is bringing the information to their attention.
All right.
You don't hear that.
The typing noises?
Sounds like a very large cat purring. It's like,
Nope.
Nope. The only thing I'm hearing is a very small cat screaming.
let me be a stream star.
Yeah.
My audience needs me.
So the two of you would figure that it's probably going to be pretty quick on the turnaround.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah. So she'll just organize that, and then we'll find out and head back to pick up.
Okay,
Yes, but that's supplies. What about actually breaking the siege so that the supplies can get into the city?
That will probably be part of the caravan, considering that her mother now knows what the siege looks like, because I'm assuming she was just scrying on it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if we're confident that that's going to be handled, otherwise we might have to, call on some friends and neighbors and see if we could at least get some more bodies to throw at this thing.
Well, I've already mentioned that we're probably going to be following that caravan back.
The caravan will likely leave from the outskirts of the city. If, when the caravan is assembled, it seems that more armed guards are needed, then we can hire people who hang out on the... we can make suggestion that Morvikdun might be willing to pay the people who who regularly take on this kind of work and live on the edge of the city.
I mean, the mercenary yards are in Genties, so the caravan will be somewhere nearby.
Sorry, just trying to look ahead.
Thrum may also just attach reinforcements to the caravan.
But let's get home and divvy up what we found. I suspect, looking at the chest, that's probably not going to make a dent in anyone's supplies for actually reinforcing the city, so we're probably fine to just put that in our own stocks.
We're still covered for rent, yes?
Yes, we're covered for rent, but the food stocks would help, bring down costs of groceries.
Yes.
Speaking of food and rent, let's get home.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, are we finally going now? I understand we've been going down the elevator.
Right.
Elevator stops, door opens. You all get out. As you exit the clock tower, a small crystalline blue butterfly lands on Titania's shoulder.
Hi.
You recognize this as one of your mother's animal messengers.
Yep. What do I have to do? Just sort of wait until it starts talking to me? Or...
It lifts off and flies away again.
was it trying to, direct me to follow? I'm confused.
Gent, looking over
Or
at
is it
Titania,
just-
you can see that there's been, there's a hole in the stitching of Titania's, top that Titania can't see.
The messenger just sewed up, or
No, that it just
that it
ate
just
out.
made?
It just,
Okay.
Right,
ate
yeah.
some of the weave out, and there's a little message there.
Nom, 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 nom.
Moth.
Right.
It's a moth, not
Right,
a
yep.
butterfly.
It's
Yep.
a magic creature.
Gent will pull that
What?
to see what it says.
You pull it. It just says, it says, mercenary yards, 3 hours.
Tell my daughter, ah! I just know.
He'll just hand the little message to Titania. Apparently things move quickly.
Like your relationship.
I'm sorry, Buckets?
He's looks up and he's like, yeah. Well, I don't know how long you guys have been dating
Good
secretly
ones,
before
guys.
now, but
We knew each other for a very long time before this point, so...
oh my god,
And-
friends to lovers. I love stories like that.
It's not... It's not a
He's
story,
dumb.
though, because...
Please ignore
No.
Scott.
Valdez,
Too late.
Valdez pats Scuzz on the head probably more forcefully than is necessary, like bouncing a football. Just
There's the sound of
Carolina is just incredibly happy with Scuzz right now.
weirdly
For the
unlike
record, you have to hit some. You have to slam a football pretty hard to bounce it.
Yeah.
on the,
Like
Which is-
concussion level hard.
on the third rough pat, weirdly you hear the sound of dice rolling around.
God.
Which Scuzz are you going to get?
It's fine.
Which Scuzz are you gonna
Goblins
get?
don't have bones, I think we established.
They're
No, they
mostly
don't.
just
It's
cartilage.
Like a shark.
Land shark.
Enough
Well-
teeth, too.
3 hours. They'll have everything together. So...
A thought. We have 3,000 crowns between us from the... Do we need to make any improvements to the house?
We could rent a bigger house. At a certain point.
Good, but our house has everything we need right now. I'm not certainly
do-
not opposed.
Does it?
Oh, for God's sakes!
it does, Titania.
The garden is...
I-
Carolina keeps trampling over all of my mint. I mean, it's not there anymore. I dug it all up, but I don't know what's there now. But, you know,
If you would have let me finish the sentence that I was trying to say.
mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay, so I certainly would not mind moving to somewhere a little bit more spacious, but is that necessarily the best use of what we have at this time?
Probably not, if I'm being completely honest with you.
If we wanted to purchase a garden that's not a training ground, I imagine renting a garden a separate garden would actually be cheaper than renting a larger house.
Community garden.
All right. Well, let's table this for a later discussion then.
Should we try in the time that we have here, see if we could perhaps sell or offload the demon armor?
That's gonna take some dedicated effort, but we can give it a shot.
At least
We start
a
with the
line,
churches.
Do I know, John,
Yes.
of anybody in the Engineer Corps, in the league, excuse me, that would be interested in this armor?
Absolutely yes.
Okay.
A few,
Oh, that's actually
a
really
few
good
dozen
strategy.
people, in fact.
I love it.
Do you guys want to meet my cousin?
the one from the party.
That's a very
No,
odd.
not Scott.
Oh,
my other cousin. She's actually
Gent has no idea why this non sequitur is coming up, but okay.
well. Lavisa is very. She's part of like. She got promoted from the training corps to the actual like building of certain like machineries and things like that. She like really likes big suits that you can like transport things in. I think she'd really like this demon armor thingy. She's also really, really smart.
that sounds like a good idea.
Is it experimentation with cursed armor will either be spectacular or explosive? Probably both.
And who better to deal with it than the Ease It League?
I would refer to that as potentially apocalyptic. Let's start with temples, please.
Okie dokie.
We've got 3 hours to do what we can.
The last thing we need is to be out on a mission and find out. Oh yes, no. Taram got pulled into hell or something like that. I hear that happens on some planes, and it doesn't typically go well.
I mean, the only time I've ever seen it done here was voluntarily, but no, I see your point.
And that was less being pulled into hell and more hell coming to you.
How much is Ariel overestimating the dangers of this armor? If I can check,
Give me a
like,
religion check.
I mean, it's just experimenting
my-
with demonic armor.
No, totally.
yeah, I'm using my knowledge thing.
Sure, go ahead.
Dubious knowledge.
Ayo!
Nice.
Natural 20.
Demon armor is enchanted, but the magic is not a thing that can like be used to retrograde open a portal to hell or something. So that certainly is like a bit of an overreaction. However, the Izzet League does do weird things that you wouldn't expect them to be able to do. So literally anything that they work on could end up with that result. It doesn't have to be demon armor.
Yeah, Carolina will. The Izzet League is just as likely to use a normal table match to start the apocalypse as they are to use a set of demonic armor. So that's not a huge concern. The enchantment is fundamentally an enchantment. It may be evil, but that we walk around with blood magic and we're fine with that.
He is, if they do something horribly catastrophic, with the other benign thing that you mentioned. We aren't the people who gave it to them.
I understand that.
Same end result, though.
So, what temple should we start with then? Unless Gent naturally has an idea.
Give me a religion.
I
check.
mean,
12. Gent has not rolled over a 10 past his first
I
die.
mean, the fingers of Marduk seem like real fun people.
Right.
I'm sure they could use
Yeah.
it.
But they're not gonna pay us.
No, they're
Oh,
not.
they're-
What's the problem? I want to pay
If
out.
you want to get paid, the Izzet League is the surefire way to go.
Right?
But I
And
understand people's
Gent will make that
rights.
case to Ariel. Look, I understand that your need for safety and disposal and that sort of thing. Where does remuneration fall on that set of priorities for you?
high, to be fair,
To be fair.
To be fair.
but
There is one temple. Everyone roll me a religion check.
yeah, like they're.
For this time around.
I think I know
Now.
exactly the temple you're about to say, but I will see if my
14.
religion check tells me it.
12.
21? Really?
7.
Okay,
My
Scuzz.
religion check doesn't tell me it. But I think I know exactly which temple you're about to mention.
Do you?
Wow.
There's only one god of
24.
commerce.
There is one temple that will take this and do something with it and pay you. It's not one of the big temples is the issue. It's not actually that one you're thinking of, Wayne. There is it's sort of a weird, out of the way, smaller, almost a shrine and less a temple, really. That let me find the name real quick. Hang on, because I have this written down. Because I have so many things written down about the world of.
I mean, you
Terra.
So
don't know.
not impulse
you
is
don't
what you're
know
saying.
No, it's
IDOS
not
right
impulse.
off the top of your
No,
head, John. Is that what
weirdly,
you're
no,
saying?
I don't know IDOS off the top of my head.
IDOS has
IDOS is
no use for money. They destroy it.
Yeah, IDOS has no use for temples or money or worshippers or anything like that. So, where's
Except
See,
for how
That's.
her worshippers have been repeatedly instrumental in the almost destroying the world thing.
I was gonna
I
say
mean, yeah,
that's
but-
thinking. That's thinking small,
She's
IDOS.
very
You
ungrateful
collect-
to her faceless army of minions.
she absolutely
you keep
is.
the money. You keep the money because there's going to be a group of idiot adventurers who have something that they want to get rid of, and you can trade that worthless money for that thing that you can use to accomplish your mission.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Look, a very determined
Think-
duck could take over the world at this point. Like,
Think bigger, Entropy.
That's the thing is, IDOS doesn't have to think bigger because eventually everything will go her way, regardless of what anyone does.
So said of the deity who's been very proactive in her plans.
Anyway,
Typically.
which non-Idos temple are we theoretically going to?
As soon as he finds the name.
There's a temple to. It's one of them. It's a minor deity called Singramar. Which is this weird sort of, almost like a trading post more than a temple. No one really knows none of you know a whole lot about Singramar. It's a very minor deity, but it does sort of work as like a not quite a pawn shop, because a pawn shop indicates that you'll be able to get it back. You give them things, and those things go away, and they give you money in return. You don't really know where they end up or what they do with it,
Oh, that sounds.
but it is a temple.
It's a temple. I know a place. It's a temple. They will get rid of it, and they will pay us.
Oh, Singramar.
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard of that place too. Weirdly enough.
Is Scuzz lying?
No, he got a 21 on his religion check.
Yeah.
I know, right? Weird. But of the deities that he knows,
Honestly,
the one that you
I
trade
feel
shit
like
with,
random place you can sell stuff.
Yeah, that'd be
Absolutely.
right up Scuzz's alley. Yeah.
that checks out.
Everyone
I'm-
Now
but
he's not
Valdeth.
a religious
Yeah, 'cause
person,
Valdeth
but
rolled a
he
7.
knows about this. He knows about this place.
Yeah,
to be
I mean,
fair, Valdeth doesn't know a whole lot about the Pantheon in general.
a
so-
lot of the random garbage Bucket Street has, they sell to the Temple of Singramar. Because they'll buy just about anything.
That would-
All right.
You don't
I
know
would
what
stop
they
off there then.
Again, no idea what they do with it. But
And we've been trying to find out for years. Like, where does it go? Where does all this shit
I mean,
I could go to feed the armadillo under the city.
the odds are
Like
shiny
marginally
one.
less likely that it will be used in some disastrous world-ending experiment. So slightly less. So let's go there.
All right.
go? Okay.
so you head to Gentes. Because this is one of the very few temples that are in Gentes as opposed to higher levels.
So we stay in this level.
Well, no, you're currently at the top. You're currently up
Yeah.
at.
All right, sorry. I thought you had brought us back to the map of our house, so I had assumed we had made it there.
I didn't mean to bring you guys back there. I meant to take just me there, and I did the wrong thing because I wasn't thinking. You guys are currently still up on the 3rd tier. So,
All right.
how are you going down tiers?
Oh,
We only have 3 hours, so perhaps the fastest way.
Sky cab.
Yeah.
we're flying.
I could swim down or fly down if we don't want to pay for another person.
You can just make yourself small and put me in someone's pocket.
You can't
Yep.
fly as fast as a sky cab, Tanya.
No, but
Or we can pay for it because that's what money is for.
We also got a lot of dragon
Okay.
money.
I don't have
Why
any
don't we
money
all-
right now.
You
Why
do
don't
have
we all
dragon
just?
money.
We've got plenty. Yes, we've got you covered.
Okay.
We have 3,000 gold. Some of that is yours.
Yeah.
Ergo, you have money.
Valdeth asks when Aaron is available. Valdeth asks Carolina for the gold so that she can start divvying it up properly.
We'll say that happens and you do.
Yeah.
That's the point where Aaron's like, no, Carolina tries to murder you because you took her money.
Yeah. So the breakdown is 428 gold, 5 silver, and 7 copper for everyone.
Nice.
Carolina's not that bad. She's just greedy.
No, I just think it would be funny.
And sky cabs are still 2 gold a ride, right?
Hey, that number. those
Yes,
numbers
2 gold per
again.
person.
428 gold, 5
Five.
silver, 7 copper.
Okay.
So you 2 gold per person, and you all take an air cab. You all take an air cab down to the Temple of Singramar. It drops you off in front of what looks like a series of like row houses, like apartment complexes in the Gentes, and just in the middle of them, as a distinctly separate building, but with like less than an inch between the walls, is this tall, narrow, church-looking building. Like it looks like if you took a
Is it like?
it looks like if you took a modern church, does anyone remember that there's a house in like California, I think, that's built on like 2 foot of a foundation, like a 2 foot wide foundation right between 2 larger
Oh,
buildings.
the Spite House. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it
I
looks
used
like
to
it.
have club near there.
It looks like if you took like our modern ideal of a church and shoved it into that small of a space. And above the door,
Love it.
is a mask that is sort of half in shade, and on the back of like a cloak with a coin in one eye. And
Yeah,
there's a door.
let's see what sort of offer.
This is cute.
So you walk up to the door, you open it up, ching. It sort of clicks into the wall very quickly. Inside is just a very cramped space that has shelves filled with books and various things and a counter at the far end, at which there sits a goblin. This goblin has a sort of pale white skin, one eye that looks like it's been blinded, and the other eye is just this sort of dull reddish pink color. Wearing sort of clean-looking black robes with a cloak hanging off the back, looking up from a book. Hello there, welcome.
Hey!
Welcome to Singramar's temple. Hello, Skazbuckets. How can I help
What
you
is this
today?
goblin's name? Please don't make me think of a name for this goblin.
No, this goblin's name is... Hang on 1 second. I have the name. Over here. This goblin's name is a name. Where is it? Ah, Elaine.
Elaine.
Okay.
Most goblins refer to it as Elaine,
Yeah,
like
that's
a lane, but that's not actually what it's spelled
That's
like.
what I spelled it as.
Yeah. Most goblins refer to it as like a lane, but that's not actually what it's spelled like.
Literally, like says like Elaine, how's it going?
Hello, Skazbuckets. What can I do for you in the house of Singramar?
I have to look and check. Was that in character or was that you?
That was in character.
What, me?
That was in
No,
character.
Okay, yeah, he's like, what?
forgot which temple
which
I was
religious
at.
building am I in?
Which one am I at today?
It is very tight. Like, you can all fit in here, but it's very tight.
We brought some armor we are looking to sell.
Armor is always good to sell. Please, bring it forward.
Nudge
Drop
whoever
on the
has it.
table, 'cause I think it's probably in my bag.
Yeah, probably.
Shuffling
Yeah.
Caroline,
We
get
shuffle
by.
around, get Carolina
Shuffle to
in.
the right.
Fair,
Crisscross.
fair,
Okay.
fair warning, it is cursed.
Who stomps this time?
Many of the items we deal with here in this temple are cursed at one point in time. And he pulls
May I
out.
ask,
Yes,
what do you do with such items?
we dispose of them. Every item has a place where it belongs. We make sure it belongs there permanently.
Good enough for me.
Not for
That
its room.
raises
Insight
all
check.
sorts of. Yeah, I was just saying
Give me
that
insight
raises
check.
all sorts of questions that Ariel is completely comfortable with pretending don't exist.
13.
It is impossible to read this goblin.
I'd like to make an insight check
Go ahead, make
too.
an insight check.
I'm very curious.
It's a
10.
very shrewd
It
goblin.
is,
if
it is
you
more
got
impossible to read this
A
goblin.
super duper cursed, kind of evil armor that like forces you to do bad stuff. Where would it go?
Let's see. He just sort of ignores the question. As he sort of...
This guy's just waiting, like he just needs a minute to know that I said something.
As
Sometimes
she's-
people like take a minute to register that they've been
As-
spoken to.
As he's inspecting the armor. Let's see. Ooh, this is very rare. This is a very nice piece.
Do they have any shelves here?
Very...
Like books and stuff on them?
They are. They're all filled, and it's all very tight, and you're sort of elbowing into it right now.
I'm just gonna look through to see if there's anything that catches my eye.
Sure, give me a perception check. Get.
Read through. And
You
see if I
also
can
cannot read this
find-
goblin.
Yeah, no, I assume probably not.
More importantly, are there any shelves for sale? Because we could really use some wall units in the place.
Right, there's a lot of unused space in the Steel Hearts.
You only give, you don't receive in here.
Well, you don't receive anything that you give back.
Ah,
However,
that's right.
Ithram, as you look around, there is like price tags on each shelf unit. And as you're looking at the books, you realize these are all fake.
Oh,
Open one up.
No, You try to pull it off the wall, and the entire thing moves.
Oh,
Yes,
nice.
it's like a cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
god.
a display.
Fucking
It's a
A.
display unit
So-
of books. Yeah.
So anybody watching will see Ithram reach for a book, and then as soon as he pulls it, oh,
Just kind of wilts a little bit.
yeah.
It's a display unit to show how effective these shelves are, because that's what he sells.
Excellent.
I
Singramar
sell-
shelving
I
Yeah.
want to spend all of our 3,000 gold on shelving units.
We will get one shelf from the
This
this price tag.
just reminds me of Laddersmith Gilligan from Dark Souls 2, who just sells ladders.
So one of you make a persuasion roll.
I can do that.
Sure, I'm fairly good at.
I am okay. I specialize literally in persuasion.
Go ahead then.
Let's not roll awful. With my natural 20 making it a 29.
Hell yeah. Damn, that's good.
For this, I can dig into the church coffers a little bit. And he reaches down under the desk and disappears. You are all now standing in
Yes.
this. You are now standing in this room with the armor on the counter, still waiting,
How is I store credit?
waiting.
How is
think
these
he's
slides
coming
one
back?
You
gold
hear a-
forward?
You hear a. Shit! Shit! Could one of you big people reach an arm over the counter, please?
Gent will reach over. Yep. or Ariel. Yeah. If Ariel reaches, he'll let Ariel.
Ariel reaches over and you feel something hard, like that you wrap your hand around and pull. And it's just a rope.
I immediately shoot it like no, but
Pull.
I'm just saying what you described is not exactly something that would be reacted to very well.
No. As you pull this rope, the goblin climbs back up, sits down. At the other end of that rope, you will find our offer. And he opens his book and waits.
The dead horse.
Do you keep pulling?
Do you have to pull it up?
I'm pulling it up.
Yeah.
Pull.
Like this joke.
After
Tired of beating this dead horse.
Yeah.
eventually, a chest is up on the counter. This would be our standing offer for this particular suit of armor.
Would you like us to count it, or would you just like to tell me how much there is?
That depends. Would you trust me if I told you?
Honestly,
Gent's opening the
yes.
lid.
As Gent opens the lid, there is 55,000 gold in that.
Done.
Ithram
Good day.
coughs. Ithram coughs at hearing that number.
Let's go before they change their mind.
Right?
Pleasure doing business with you. If you have anything
Lily,
else, you
didn't
would
you want to buy shelves?
if you have anything else you would like, and that's based just on, so the number that William rolled was high enough to get 150% of the base price of the item. So it's just like,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
well, all right then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm a samurai. I don't just add my charisma to my persuasion, I also add my wisdom.
Nice.
We can have either 55,000 gold or one shelving unit.
No.
shelf.
Take
All
the
day.
shelves. Take the shelves.
Take the shelves, take the shelves, because those are the best shelves that were ever invented.
How
They
much are
also
the
grant
shelves?
immortality.
If you have anything else you would like to sell, please
Honestly,
bring it here.
I have some things I need to offload if I'm being completely honest.
Certainly. We will buy anything.
I have a suit of full plate that I happened to make that has now been outclassed by the dwarven plate that I'm wearing.
That will be less money, but we can certainly pay for it.
I just need to get it out of my bag.
How much? What's the
And by
standard?
bag, I
what's the
mean
base price of plate?
Chest
mail?
plate.
1,500, I want to say.
Yeah, I think you're right.
For full plate.
15 or 18.
For full
Yeah.
plate? Hang on.
Let me check.
Regular items will get substantially less than magic items. That roll doesn't affect this. That roll is only for selling magic items.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fair. That makes sense.
It's only going to be 20,000 gold this time.
Armor prices.
Demon
plate is, plate is
Demon
1500.
Demon armor is a very rare magic item. The base price of demon armor is very high.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, plate armor is 1500 gold.
I can give you 700 gold for these.
Bad enough. I'll take it.
That one doesn't require the rope gag.
You feel something hard in your hand, you pull. Anyway, how much are the shelves?
The shelves are 10 silver apiece.
How many shelves are there in this place?
You keep losing count.
1, 2, 3. Can I have
Do an even number.
10 shelves, please?
Certainly.
One for each room, and then another for like 3 more for the house.
Certainly.
Do we want more than 3 for the house?
No, I think that's good.
10's probably a good number.
That'll
Scott.
be 100
10 is
silver.
Tennis has many fingers as I've
Or
got.
10 gold.
Yes, that would be 10 gold.
Because slides forward the 10 gold pieces. Counting
Simply pull the ones you like off the wall.
Just pull them. Holy shit. Yeah, just guys has a field day pulling off the like lowest shelves.
As you pull
Actually,
the shelf off the wall, there's another shelf where it already was.
he climbs up, pulls one from up top. He's having a field day. You should
Y'all
have
help
it.
boost up.
John,
boost.
by the way,
Yep.
can I
towards the high
just say
shelves.
Yes.
how annoyed the back of my head was by the fact that you had to say it's 10 silver apiece.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I will just tell
Fucking
Vault,
really.
Yeah.
I don't think we've really got time to go home and do much. So
I mean, I'd
I'm
like to
gonna
take-
grab a lunch before we head out.
Yeah.
Math.
Valdeth looks at the chest. We should probably get that safely stored away into our home.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right, so we're all
For the
meeting.
moment, I'll stick it in my bag of holding.
I have a thought as we're exiting.
With
Mhm.
your 10 shelves.
Yes.
I'll help carry some.
Yeah.
Probably
that's
also
what I'll do.
shove the shelves in bags of holding.
And this is something to be debated later. It's just something to keep in mind. It goes along with what Titania was saying earlier. But with the amount of money we have now, we can probably just buy a place. Our place. We could literally buy our place and no longer have to worry about the ridiculousness of monthly rent or the like.
Possibly.
We
Then
still
you-
need to pay the other retainers.
Then you just have your
We do,
annual fees.
But we have to pay them regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we can talk about whether we want to buy the place we have or something else. We obviously don't necessarily have time for that discussion.
So I will say
now.
We can look into it.
I will
3
say this
hours
is something you will all
unlimited.
know. This is something you would all know. The Mercenary Yards is permanently rent controlled because it's the Mercenary Yards. Whenever a Griffin
Mhm.
company wants to buy their own place, they typically move to Grifftop.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
fair.
I assumed.
Because Grifftop you can actually buy, like, you can't really buy any of the houses that are in the Mercenary Yards. That's how they keep Griffin companies rotating. But you can,
Fair,
you
fair,
can,
fair.
if you want to buy property. Also, there's not enough space to build up. But if you wanted to buy property, you could buy it in Grifftop or on the outskirts of the city, or anywhere else.
I mean, buying.
If you don't think there's room to move up, you're just not thinking
Actually,
creatively or magically.
I mean,
And
buying
we're
buying
gonna
buying
buy
a
the
home-
house, anyways. We could ask. What's the name of the retainer who handles the finances?
That would be
Cathian?
Cathian is the one that's part of the house.
Yeah.
My personal major domo, who does most of the finances on my end, is Durin.
Yeah.
Durin Rockfist.
Yeah, Cathian is the housekeeper.
Could ask Cathian or someone else if you would prefer her to investigate what might be up for sale.
I will note that actually buying a permanent base in Grifftop would go a long way to cementing our reputation as a Griff company.
Yeah, all the big ones have their own places.
I'm fine with that. I don't care a ton. It's a bed to sleep on, and honestly, we're not home enough for it to matter.
I mean,
But
just the status has certain implications.
Indeed. Status is significant.
sure.
So I can probably get Durin looking into places in Grifftop while we're heading our way to Morvictun.
Also, if you buy a large enough house, you can start recruiting NPCs to work as Steelhearts members and have them bringing you in money.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Getting real fancy. I'm gonna take. I want to take a bath, really bad.
Red Terra Shadowlands becomes Adventure Simulator.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys still have things you need to do yourselves, but it's always
Right.
nice to have some NPCs earning you passive money in the background.
I just like the idea that we become a resource manager.
It just becomes Acquisitions Incorporated.
On the way back to our place, Carolina will probably stop and grab a lot of food from one of the food stalls.
Oh yeah, plenty of places you can buy food. You can, like, it's a couple copper, and you can get a decent meal.
And just walking around with one of those comedically oversized drumsticks that you get at fairs and also in fantasy settings.
Yeah.
Right.
Ithram would have also gotten those when he saw you get one.
They refer to them as dragon legs. They're definitively not any meat off of a dragon.
Oh, it's turkey. Everyone knows it's turkey.
Yeah, it's a turkey leg, but they refer to them as dragon legs because it's marketing.
Yeah, the same, bear claws. And,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
yeah.
They want to make people feel like adventurers. You killed and ate a
To
dragon.
be
Now
fair-
you get to eat a dragon that we killed, or whatever.
Anybody who confuses a bear claw for a bear claw has other issues going on. But
But you eventually all get back home. Upon returning to the company house, you notice several things. One, if you look down the alley, you see there is now a shed in the backyard.
Ooh.
Two,
She.
upon entering, you notice that there is a extra table in the workshop that has a variety of new tools on it. It seems like Merrick has refreshed the tools and bought a few new things for the workshop. For the next month, you'll have advantage on any.
It's gonna go investigate that.
For the next month, you'll have advantage on any
Okay.
on any crafting checks made in the workshop because Merrick has created some new tools.
Good lad.
And also in the back, there is a small dark hut in which there is a plethora of mushrooms now, Titania.
Yes. Oh, I don't. I
Your
wish.
furbog friend.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh
Ca-
man.
Welcome.
Carolina, can I get that chest real quick as Spelleth walks in?
Duran looks up from his paper.
Yeah.
Welcome home, Master Stonebeard.
Duran, got a potentially interesting job for you, Vala says as she thunks the chest down on the table.
He sort of hooks a finger around his pipe and pulls it out and holds it there in his mouth. And what would that be, Master Stonebeard?
I'd like you to take a look and see what this can get us in Grifftop, she says as she flips the chest open.
He does a quick eyeball. That's about 55,000 in gold, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the number we were given. I'm glad it's accurate.
As a reminder, Duran can count anything really
Right.
quickly just by looking at it.
Yep.
He's a genius.
He's got gold sense, that boy. We like him a lot.
He's closing in on 300 years old, so it's like, you know.
Right. He's been at this for a little bit.
Until they change the weight of the density of gold, he can count it.
Basically, yeah. I could certainly be shopping around for you at Grifftop. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Just something that we can get permanently and potentially expand on if we get more funds later to actually have a permanent base for.
You're looking to buy
the
land,
steel
then.
hearts.
You're looking to buy land, then, not an actual building.
If there's a building already there, yes, but a building with some land, preferably.
And like a lot of land that we can run on. We can have
Get you some-
dogs, a community garden.
yes, a decent amount of land for training and potentially a building on.
What is
Any
Question.
Yeah.
For the GM.
Yes.
Grifftop is Grifftop on the coast, or is there like a river through it or something?
Grifftop is on a cliff that has, just like almost everything on the plateau, cliff that goes
Okay.
down.
Okay, gotcha. So there's no waterfront property per se in
I mean,
Grifftop.
cliff front, which would be the closest thing to it. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Closest thing you get to the waterfront is the cliff. Okay. Then, Ghent doesn't have any other specific suggestions at that point, then.
Is there specific requests
perhaps-
you might have? Cody?
Foot.
Yes. Something if a
Aesthetic.
building, something with perhaps an arcane workshop of some sort, or if it is large enough for a land, there is something that I have been looking at. It is far down the road, but we would need a sizable area.
With this much
for a
gold,
while.
a lot.
That does raise a question. Do we want inside the town limits, or do we want something outside with a little more room to spread?
With this much
That
gold,
depends.
with this much gold at your disposal, we might be able to buy a sustainable chunk of land, and then hire workmen to create something that you'd like, rather than trying to buy something that already exists.
That's probably the wiser choice of the two.
In both cases, it's worth seeing what specifically is available.
Certainly. Just a good idea to know what you want before I go out, so that I don't make any
Indeed.
promises or suggestions that you wouldn't want.
Yes, definitely. We're looking to have a decent-sized home for the Steelhearts, and potentially, in the future, we might want to grow the Steelhearts. So enough room to expand.
It would certainly be convenient if Titania stopped planting things in the training garden.
I'll pack up me things, take young Merrick with me, and we'll be back in a week.
Perfect. We're going to be leaving in a couple of hours to escort a supply caravan down to Morvick Dun, so we'll be out for a while as well.
Very good. Marek, pack your kit bag. And he flips his newspaper back open, puts the pipe back in, with the understanding that by your kit bag he means our kit bags. As Merrick hustles out of the workshop and upstairs. So at this point you've got about an hour and a half before the established meeting time.
Ghent's gonna go talk to Tilra and make sure a bath is drawn.
A bath is drawn. Weirdly, she's mid-draw. When you find her, she's in the middle of drawing a bath.
Okay. Well, I guess you know what to expect then. Thank you very much.
When a bunch of adventurers get home after a long while, I imagine baths are one of the few things they haven't had.
I'm sure Titania will be in first.
Yep. I have
Make sure-
been out in the
So, as she's after she finishes drawing the bath, she does stick her head out the. Make sure you drop your dirty things in the laundry room so I can get them clean.
will do. I have been out in the hut, not participating in the conversation about what we should build or long-term planning or anything. What's ripe now?
Lots of things. As you sort of
Okay,
duck, the hut is slightly shorter than you, so you duck into it, and it is just wall-to-ceiling mushrooms and fungus growing on every surface inside the hut. All manner of different kinds.
Beautiful.
From what you can tell, all of it's hallucinogenic, none of it's poisonous.
Beautiful. She did so well. exactly what I wanted.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, it's poisonous in that it's hallucinogenic, but it's not like deadly poisonous
Yeah.
or emetic or anything like that.
Most things that do something weird to you are slightly poisonous.
Yep.
Oh, I want hallucinogenic daggers. I want daggers that poison you with hallucinogens.
Titania can probably help with that. It's just.
Can I learn to attach the alchemist fire to a dagger to then throw it, explode, and then get the dagger back?
I
do
mean,
that?
you could always dip a dagger in alchemist fire, and it'll be on fire when you throw it.
Technically speaking, capsaicin is a mild poison.
Yeah.
Set everything on fire.
Yeah. Alchemist fire burns on whatever it's on, so you just dip the knife in it, pull it back out, and the knife's on fire.
Now, this is actually a very important GM question. If I did start doing that, would one dip of that consume the one alchemist fire to coat the dagger?
What's the dice that alchemist fire does?
A
D6 of fire damage.
Yeah, this isn't. Yeah.
I'll say you'd have 3 coatings out of that.
Excuse me, it's a D4 fire damage.
2 coatings out of that then.
Cool.
So one jar of alchemist fire could give you 2 coatings. It would be a bonus action to dip the dagger in, though. So.
No, totally. I got bonus actions for days.
Yep.
You have 1 bonus action.
Looking for something fairly mellow. I'm gonna go
Give me a
see
nature
my
check.
mother again. I kind of just want to chill.
Give me a nature check.
I've had a stressful couple days. So, grab something, go back in.
Give me a nature check to talk
Okay.
about.
All right. I'm great at nature
Let's set it
checks,
3
by
times.
which I mean I have a +2. Not great. 4.
Yes. This is great.
I have
You
inspiration.
grab-
I'm not using
You
them.
grab something.
Yep. All right. Tuck that in my bag. Head back in. Bath. It
I was
awaits.
gonna say, yeah. You'd probably meet Gent on the way, who's basically like, "Yep, it's ready."
Good. Thank you.
Dear God. So, without you having been stalled out there, somebody else has claimed it.
Oh, so Ariel's in there first?
Fuck yes.
Oh, yeah. So, Titania, you get to the bathroom, and there's the sound of somebody scrubbing already in there. Tilra goes, Ariel got in there first.
Hello, dear.
As Ariel is cleaning as Tilra is cleaning Ariel's clothes.
I've.
You could always go and join her.
I
There's
believe the
room for 2.
term is you snooze, you lose.
I wasn't snoozing. I was refreshing myself outdoors after having been sick for several days.
So you were recuperating, which is a type of snoozing.
I don't know that word.
Scuzz comes in butterball naked, drops his clothes off, and gets into the tub with Ariel.
Yep.
Hey, bestie.
Hey, Scuzz.
It's not fair.
Now there's not really more room
Going
for
to
you
go
coming. It's
see
only
if we
a
can
2-person
buy a
tub.
few healing
Yeah.
potions before we're setting out again.
Sure.
See all of you when we leave.
You heard me. There's a lot of butter on this goblin. He's got to wash it off. Scuzz is a very pleasant bath partner. He doesn't do anything. He just cleans and chills out.
Right, of course.
They're going to take forever. Okay,
There
I'm
is
gonna go.
There is a little
sponge
rubber
bath.
duck in the bath, though.
There is a rubber duck. There's always a rubber duck.
I'm gonna go sponge bath then, because I don't trust Ariel to not take ages and ages.
It looked like
And-
look like a raisin.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like I have to wash my hair. Because,
Your
you
hair
know.
is perfect. It's Disney princess perfect.
So I go do that and take my mushroom and get ready to go. I spend a very long amount of time trying to figure out clothes.
You eat the mushroom?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Oh wow. Here we go.
I'm making con save.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
Yes!
Not this time.
Right. Okay. That
Not-
kind.
Not for this one.
Cool.
The problem is the con save DC would have been 50. So
You asked your friend, who's very good at growing mushrooms, to make you
Yeah.
a mushroom hut, and she is a very good friend.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
She's also very good at growing mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So, Titania,
Valdeth's
you
gonna
get
have to deal
done.
with this.
You get done scrubbing yourself down. All the skin flakes on the ground have turned into snakes and crawled away.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty normal.
Yep.
Something on my foot and good. Hang on. Sorry. Oh, that's what that is.
Oh, I figured that was
are you
Titania.
sure you
I
didn't?
don't.
No. There's something was poking me in the foot, and I had to get.
I'm telling you why he's staring at your towel.
You get dressed.
Yep.
You head downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
You
What
pat.
does Valdeth see?
You see Titania sort of wavering a little bit as she's walking. Titania, there's a Medusa over there in plate armor. That's weird.
No.
There's a Hydra.
What is
You
that?
can see there's a Hydra sticking its head in the window, asking the snakes of the Medusa's hair for tea, which they then produce.
Ooh. Ooh. I would like some of that. Tea sounds
Sir-
lovely.
They offer you a cup of tea.
I'm
Titania
gonna have to deal with this.
Titania seems to be talking to one of the plants by a windowsill. Valdeth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god damn it.
Great tea.
Everstone, give me strength.
Carolina, you are able to buy potions of whatever value you're looking
Okay.
for.
I assume book price.
Yeah, book price.
I'm buying 7 of them. I have plenty of cash, and then each of you is getting one. If I have to stick it into Tanya's back pocket because she's too drugged up to notice, I will.
The
I already have a couple.
Basic healing potions.
I don't care. You're getting another one.
Okay.
Are they basic healing potions or anything or more advanced?
Basic.
Okay.
The ones you can get in the player's handbook.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So 50 gold.
Did everyone get one?
Yes.
Yay!
PC receives 1 basic healing potion from Carolina, who probably walked to like the Green Banner grocer.
You walk to like the corner alchemist shop.
Yeah.
There's a really
Taram
tired.
Bodega.
It's
Yeah, like
It's
I imagine there's bodegas that are adventurer specific.
Yeah, this is the adventurers. It's like a
called-
vending
yeah,
machine.
it's called Tyrian Greens. And they
Wow.
have a variety of.
Name of my future dispensary.
Yeah.
Scuzz is also gonna go and buy after he's nice and clean and raisiny,
Mhm.
go buy components to make more alchemist fire.
Okay.
He currently has
A giant
6.
bipedal lizard walks past you, Titania, wearing a poncho.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No.
Oh.
You're fine. You go and do the thing.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
cool. I thought another scene was happening. Okay.
No, it's the
Nope.
same scene. A giant
Nope.
bipedal lizard walks by Titania as Scuzz goes by.
Nice. Yeah, he goes and buys components to make more alchemist fire, and he will give you all. He will make enough for each of you to have one as well. So 1 pocket for a potion and 1 pocket for an alchemist fire. He's like, just throw
Do
it.
not mix the two.
Do not mix the two. This is a bad. You'll have a bad time, a really bad time. 1 is for throwing, 1 is for throwing back.
So you should get an alchemist fire.
Yeah, after Ariel and Scuzz have had their bath, Valdeth goes to get one of her own.
Yep.
The Medusa leaves, Titania.
Ithram comes down to start grinding up some of his gold coins.
There's
just
a giant
handful.
walking past you now.
Whoa.
It's like a fire giant. Like it's big, and,
Wow.
and the ceiling is somehow tall enough for it. It's like got a big flaming beard.
You're really
Big
hot.
flaming beard.
Ithram, you
Sorry,
hear
what?
Titania
There's
tell
a
you.
walk, stop.
Yeah, yeah. He turns and says, he turns and goes, "I'm sorry, what?
Fire.
You have
Am
no
I sweating?"
you have no idea what this giant is saying because you don't speak giant, Tanya. So it's just like
I'm miming.
Ariel walks, and then
Hello.
there's a stop, and then there's a backwards walking to turn and look.
What does Ario look
Right.
like?
This like radiant sunlight like formed
Aw.
into a humanoid shape is leaning towards you and talking in gibberish. And it's kind of bright, and you kind of squint and look away.
All right.
I need my sunglasses for this.
I like the idea that Titania doesn't actually pull anything out, but just mimes sunglasses and thus has sunglasses.
That's exactly what happens. There are no sunglasses, but that's
Oh dear God.
Hearing the conversation, Gent sticks his head out of the workshop to see what's
Yeah.
going on.
there's a golem leaning out of the workshop, Titania.
What on earth is?
It's this large
He may be
metal
delayed.
steel
Oh.
construction.
She's high off her ass. Apparently, she took the strongest mushroom she could find. All that says.
That,
Oh,
that is literally
Titania, love,
the most.
can you
most
step over here,
Titania
please?
Thing you could have said.
Titania, the golem is like brandishing a battle axe and waving it at you.
Sure, I'll take that. It's offering it to me. This is great.
Titania reaches out and grabs something out of the air.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Where are you headed?
It's not.
Or-
You start miming with the battle axe.
Yeah, I'm just like testing it. Always wanted one of these.
The battle axe explodes into light, and now it's a lightsaber.
Cool.
A lightsaber or a lightsaber battle axe?
Sure.
Yes.
Who's to say that all lightsabers on Gran Terra aren't lightsaber battle axes?
Exactly.
Gent's going to try and pick Titania up and see what happens.
The golem is coming at you with a very angry look on its face.
Oh, I'm gonna
I'll lean over to Ithram. Do you happen to have a sleep spell?
Yes.
I'm gonna try and hand the axe back to it, assuming that it's if you want it back.
Lord Minar, if
But-
everyone backs out of the radius, we can just put her to sleep.
No, I don't have the spell prepared today.
Oh.
You
Also,
have
she's an
hold
Eladrin, and magical sleep
Yes.
spells do not work on her.
Yes.
You have hold person prepared.
I'm not going to shoot my girlfriend.
I wasn't. I was asking
Give
Ithram.
me a.
I
give me a-
only
I'm
have
sorry.
the one.
Chop! Just like, it's like a
I only
Beckman.
have the one version, and I have not scribed it into my spell book yet because I have lacked the funds that I now currently have.
Right. Okay. I walk forward. I bend it. Just pick up over
So-
shoulder, and I'm carried up to her
Since
room.
Gint and Ariel are both trying to do this, either both of you can make athletics checks, or one of you can do it with advantage.
My athletics is +6.
You are
You
grabbing.
really
You are
should put her
grabbing
in the
an
cart.
Eladrin.
We need to
24.
get to-
Yeah, as you pick her up, you do know that you've got like 30 minutes before the meetup time. But yeah, the
Right.
two of you managed to pick up Titania between
Yep.
the two of you. Titania, you are being grabbed by the light thing and the golem at the same time.
You grab
Okay.
the arms. I'll grab the legs.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I don't know what's happening.
You're being carried.
I'm very curious where this is
The
going.
house is elongating as it goes. Like
Oh, okay.
and
I've
where
had
the
dreams like
stairs
this.
would normally be as they open the door to the stairs, there's just more hallway that they take you down.
If can just looking at how she's reacting, can Ithram just kind of make a guess at maybe how long this will last, or
A
maybe
medicine check.
what perhaps she took?
A medicine check or a nature check, one of the two.
Nature. No,
Can-
I got a +5,
No
but it doesn't matter when
idea.
you roll like shit. She took a mushroom.
Some sort of hallucinogenic.
Yes.
That's going
Oh,
to
well.
Presumably,
probably going to
why
last a
we
little.
now have out back.
They seem to have it covered, though. I will go back to grinding my gold. Just a little bit.
We have 30 minutes to get to the outskirts of the city. I'm going to get going now. I hope everyone else will arrive on time.
Destination was the mercenary yards, not the outskirts of the city.
Yeah, so we're already nearby.
We have 30 minutes to get to the mercenary yards. It seems you have some cargo that's going to slow you down. I'm going to arrive on time. Have a nice day.
After Valdez gets out of her bath, she will.
One second. After Carolina leaves, Gent just turns to Ariel. Doesn't she usually set herself up as her role here, by her own admission, is Titania's more or less bodyguard supervisor, right?
Something to that effect. I don't know. I don't pay that much attention.
All right, just,
Two of you carrying Titania.
I'm responsible for external, not the drugs Titania chooses
Yeah,
to
not
inflict
self-administered threats. That would be your and Valdez' responsibility.
Which is why I'm here, yes.
Where are
absolutely.
you taking
Valdez will be
Titania?
along shortly, I'm sure. Probably back up to her room.
Do you put her on the bed or just in the room?
In the bed.
Somebody will have to stay here. She will walk out otherwise.
Oh, yes. No, I'm going to stay and
Prefer-
make sure she's got all of
Okay.
her things packed.
You are good? Good.
Yes.
Titania, you are tossed onto a bed of flowers that explodes up and begins forming shapes in the sky.
Ooh. That's pretty. I try and catch one.
You do that.
This is
Yep.
adorable.
Valdez?
Eventually, after Valdez gets out of the bath and dries herself off and puts her armor back on, presumably with fresh clothes, she will walk up to Titania's room.
We're in here.
You know, as much as I would love to just give her the time to come down on her own, I almost want to see the interaction when her mother presumably fixes this immediately to give her a talking to.
Well,
Oh yes, that's certainly not happening until we're done with this conversation. I mean, I absolutely want to be there for that.
it's possible that her mother will be meeting us once we assemble with the relief caravan.
Yeah,
So
I'm kind of a mind to just start carrying her there.
I mean,
she seems to be marginally calm, and I think she's got most of her kit together. So yes, we can head that way if you'd like.
Just
delightful.
yeah, I'll. I don't know if I can carry her entirely by myself, just because of how short I am. But she's not that much taller than me.
No, we'll rig up. Actually, I wonder if there's enough time.
No, there isn't.
Probably not. If you're asking if there's enough time, the answer is probably no.
I'm tall and have a decently high strength factor. I will pick her up.
There's
Piggyback
yes, no,
ride.
that's easy enough. It's yes.
Titania, the radiant light person is giving you a piggyback ride.
Oh.
I mean, less piggyback ride, more F5 position, but sure.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
That is like over shoulder.
Fireman's carry?
Little bit, yeah.
Okay.
It's essentially a fireman's carry.
As far as you're aware, it's a piggyback ride.
Yeah.
Because you are not aware of the physics of reality right now.
No, that's very true.
That is absolutely fair.
Oh, this is exciting. I'm gonna try and steer.
You just grab hair and yank. Ariel, Titania is pulling your hair.
Whack! Oops. Instinctual.
Titania, you feel pressure, but it doesn't hurt.
Okay.
Gent is trailing behind with the luggage, I'll say.
If you need to
You're gonna
pass
have a totally broken nose by the time you come
If
down.
you-
This
if
is
you
gonna be
need-
amazing.
if you need to, you can pass her over to me. I might
no.
be short, but I'm
This is fine.
perfectly strong.
When she comes to, she will have learned a lesson.
I don't think she will.
This is the first time any of you have seen
Let
Ariel's
me
hair.
have this punch.
This is the first time any of you have ever seen Ariel's hair not perfectly in place.
It's okay, and all it'll take is a shake of the head.
And it's just literally just like fingers through and then a shake and
Yes,
just
yes.
perfect. And it's like, damn. I soared my immortal soul to do this one trick.
So you all gather in the courtyard that is in the sort of the central area of the mercenary yards, where you find several like supplies not on wagons, just sort of like stacked up in various places. There doesn't seem to be any sort of like carriages or no caravans here. There's just a bunch of people
Magical transportation.
with boxes.
Right, magical transportation. That makes sense. So that would be the fast way to get around the siege.
Yes. No, you're right there.
Eventually, at exactly the appointed time,
Imagine
3
I'm
hours
waving at
on the
everyone by this
dot.
point because everyone looks different.
the
fascinating.
Annette Valkorian, Titania's mother, walks towards the group of the gathered supplies and individuals, flanked by 6 other individuals in varying robes of varying colors, all wielding staves. Titania,
Right.
a beholder is approaching from the distance.
Oh shit!
And it's
No one's-
staring at you.
Shit! I'm
And none
gonna.
of your friends are here.
All
Yeah.
of the eyes are staring at you.
I'm gonna
This
go
is a
gaseous.
this is a fast way to
Worm.
develop scopophobia. You can't cast magic while a beholder's staring at you.
I don't think Titania knows enough to know that. I'm gonna cast gaseous form.
It doesn't work.
If I see her start to try and catch anything, I am just grabbing the arm,
Okay.
and like preventing
you're
them
preventing
from
the
somatic.
you're preventing the somatic components from, but to Titania's mind, it's just not working.
Yeah.
Shit! Shit!
As the beholder gets closer
That's
and closer, and Annette
Would you like me to set her down?
looks over at Ariel, sighs. What did she take?
That's a very
Some
good
sort of
question.
mushroom.
I wish we
Yes.
knew.
Some sort of mushroom, I believe, was the consensus.
Generally.
Probably a psychedelic.
She closes her eyes and breathes in through her nose, and all of you feel the general temperature drop 5 degrees.
Delightful.
Outside, nice.
Mm,
Not in a room, but outside.
Yeah, outside, just in open air.
Oh, they're scary.
Valdeth is probably inappropriately amused right now.
Well, we'll just have to see what happens. As
How
she,
is
as
she going
she,
to take teleportation? That's going to be
I'm glad you got there a second after she did.
Going to be amazing.
As she turns and taps her staff down, and just a void rips open in the middle of the field, in the middle of the square, that passes through to a section of the interior of Morvic Dune, near actually where the meteor is. As she does that, that seems to be the signal as all of the porters around begin hefting and carrying things through. As she stands there holding her staff, the crystal lit as she holds this gate open. Run along through.
Well, let's see how this goes. Valdeth steps through.
Titania,
Ezra will follow.
there is a
Do-do-do-do-do.
large glowing fire portal in the middle of the room that the radiant person is about to carry you through.
Okay. Well,
Just for fun, I stop before the portal. I do like a 360-degree spin, and I just dance my way through.
I mean, I'm gonna let that happen at this point because it's away
Your-
from the beholder.
Entire body just comes apart at the seams as you atomize through this portal.
How much screaming is there?
None, because her mouth
'Cause
doesn't
Gent is
exist
right
anymore.
behind. Okay.
I am like
Just staring.
hanging near Ariel, just on the off chance Titania manages to get out of her grip, I can grab Titania.
I wonder if there is a bad enough trip to make Titania actually learn something
What
from this.
what for the rest of you is a couple seconds of stepping through the portal. For Titania is eons of space and time. As you watch,
I see you have gotten an accurate description of what an acid trip is like.
Ooh,
as you
I've
as you
had that
watch
dream.
your own atoms come apart around you and hurl through space and through images and through all of the various planes of the material realm, and then reconstruct in Morvic Dune as you vomit and are feeling
Been
less
there.
and are feeling better now. As everything is back to normal to your perceptions.
The only difference is it was not Morvic Dune, it was Mount Tabor.
So basically, for the rest of you, Ariel, you carry Titania through, set her down, and she just spews.
As long as she spewed after I set her down, it's fine. And then I do the...
Kent will just sort of pat her gently on the back.
There are people walking past you carrying crates and things, Tanya.
Valdeth kneels down next to Titania. Feeling better.
No.
Did we learn anything?
Yes, what did we learn today?
It's been 30 seconds. Give her a bit.
Puking isn't fun.
I mean, that's a start.
It's all over your clothes and everything.
Shit.
Ithram, you wouldn't happen to know. Oh, of course you don't.
Bill, it has been literally one day.
As the porters finish carrying things through, Annette walks through and lays a hand on Titania's shoulder, and all of the vomit disappears. Because Annette does have
Jeez,
prestidigitation.
cantrip.
Oh, I can do that canter too. Wait, here we go.
Feeling better?
Scuzz, don't. You'll get a bloody nose.
Gent
must
is
become
handing Titania a water flask.
Thanks. I am drinking that.
Annette did ask you if you were feeling better.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good. Because you were looking at me like I was a beholder, and I was worried for a little bit.
You were.
She takes a second to parse that.
I'm fine.
Would you like some soup?
No, I'm perfectly fine. We have to finish making sure this gets to the right place.
The crates are unloading and loading around. Very well. She turns and looks at the mages that are walking around. Report to the various siege commanders around the city and make yourselves useful. They all nod and split.
Okay, let's
I'm
get...
looking around seeing if I can see a giant pirate hat anywhere.
No, because you're inside Morvic Dune right now.
Oh, right.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Stop by the. I forget. It was the captain. Was the one that we spoke to that gave us a job.
Malik Starcarver.
Yeah. Let's go. Let's go see if we can find Captain Starcarver.
He's over there. You can see him from where you're at.
Yeah. Valdeth walks over to Captain Starcarver.
Welcome back, everybody. I see you've brought supplies from Taram, and I'm assuming that means our caravan is not coming.
No, it appears that it was attacked by a dragon that is no longer a problem.
Well, good on you. We've got your weapons and gold prepared over here.
Thanks.
As he
We'll go and find
waves
the
you
great
over
sword.
and- So there is a series. So there is a great sword, a sickle, a great sword for Havaleth, a sickle for Titania, a short sword for Skuz, and a warhammer for Carolina. Right?
I think Scuzz has changed
Yeah.
her mind. I think Scuzz has changed his mind to ask for a rapier.
Or it was a
Yes.
rapier. That's right. It was a rapier for
Yep.
Skuz. And it was gold for Gint, Ariel, and Ithram.
Correct.
Yep.
So there is 5,000 gold for Ariel, Ghent, and Ithram.
A piece or total?
A piece. Star
Nice.
metal is very expensive, and if you're getting equivalent value.
So what would this weapon be?
So
Put a 5 in front of my gold.
Wait,
there
no.
is a weapons rack that you all see that has the series of expertly crafted weapons made of this white material that glows with this inherent radiance. Each of these have the same stats as their book weapon. Plus, they all emit bright light for 20 feet and dim light for another 20 feet, just inherently at all times. They also all do an additional die worth of radiant damage. That die being equal to their weapon dice damage. So the greatsword does 2d6 slashing and 1d6 radiant. The rapier does 1d8 piercing and 1d8 radiant. The sickle does whatever damage a sickle is, plus that also in radiant.
Do they have
D4.
do they have a magic bonus or?
Yes, they are all +2 weapons, and they are considered magic.
So they emit light for how far?
They emit bright light for 20 feet and dim light for another 20 feet.
Okay.
And they all have the weapons that have the heavy property innately do not have the heavy property. Anything that doesn't have the heavy property has the light property. And if it already had the light property, it now has throne for 30/60. Because star metal is
Awesome.
strong and light.
I'm gonna put this in my weapon bracelet thing that Ithram made.
You focus on
Also,
it for a second.
I now
and
have a flashlight that I can punch things while using.
you focus on it for a second, and it vanishes in a puff of light into your
Add the magic
pocket
bonus.
dimension.
Good.
How do you add different types of damage?
I can. These are simple enough that I can create them as magic items on D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
I've shown you previously,
okay.
but
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would be great.
yeah. But I'll do that
Wow.
later.
These are beautiful.
Thank you. Made it myself.
Very nice.
They're very good.
The sickle is actually rather than most sickles that are sort of curved. This is more of a kind of like a half a rectangle. So it's actually got like corner edges on the inside of it rather than a smooth curve. The great sword Valdeth is basically a one big rectangle. Like it doesn't even have a tip.
So the executioner style greatsword that's just
Yeah.
like a horizontal block with no tip.
Yep,
Yeah.
it's like a wide executioner sword, basically. The warhammer is very clearly dwarven in origin with its sort of blocky feats and everything, and the rapier has a very simple hilt guard rather than like a big fancy basket hilt. It's just sort of like a basic saber hilt.
That's perfect.
And again, Ghent, Ithram, and Ariel both all get an extra 5,000 gold into a piece.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much for your services. I hope these live up to your satisfaction.
Yeah, already doing a good job of it.
Glad to assist. How's the siege going?
It's going. The giant's been hurling more stuff than their trebuchets have. We managed to cripple most of their trebuchets, but they have shut down one of the entrances, so we're only fighting on 3 fronts right now. But, as it indicates to the mages that have arrived, mages from Tehran will give us a hand.
Valeth will armory the greatsword.
I suppose these supplies will keep your soldiers running for at least the foreseeable future?
We were already running low, so yes, definitely. Yeah, William, basically that,
Excellent.
but made out of bright white metal.
Yeah.
Well, if there's no further need of our services, we are due back in Tehran for some very important work that has recently come our way. Thank you, Captain, for allowing us to complete these services.
Thank you. If you're ever in town, give us a holler.
Certainly will.
Valeth will head back over to Annette.
The gate
I don't
is still
suppose-
open.
Is it still open?
Yeah.
Okay, well, Valeth would sort of look at Annette and are we clear to head back through?
Certainly.
Potentially.
I'm only holding it open for
All
you.
right. Valeth looks at the rest of us. Shall we go back?
Absolutely.
Are
Valeth,
you
Just
Gent's going to be the last to pass through.
Aaron?
Valeth will step.
Aaron?
As we're all heading back, I will look to Titania. You are actually okay now?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Maybe dilute that one in the future. I don't think that's how it's supposed to be taken.
Yes. Yes. I'll head through.
It's
Yeah.
much less traumatic this time going.
Yeah.
Gent's going to stop and talk to Lady Valkorian very briefly before he comes through.
Yes, Ken.
What day this week would work best for her visit?
Well, any day if she comes by the Air Authority building where I work. But for the house, I should be home most days this week. She can check with her father.
Very good. I'll make sure she takes care of that.
She gives you a smile. It doesn't reach her eyes.
And we are through the gate, and no, Gent will take what he can get.
You all go through the gate. Annette follows behind. It closes. Well, thank you once again for letting us know about the incident in Morvikdun. It was very helpful.
thank you for providing the transportation
It is part of
And
my
the
duty.
supplies.
and the supplies. Yes.
She just nods. It's part of my duties. Well, I will leave you to your life of grand adventure. And she turns and walks away.
All right. Let's head back home. Possibly there's a discussion that needs to be had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I'm grabbing more food as we go back through the city again.
You
Hell yeah.
You get more food,
Yep.
you all get home.
All right. There is a moat of Eidos far to the south, and apparently what we need to handle it is here in the city. And I feel like that's sort of the top of our priority list, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, sounds right.
No, that's number one item at the moment. Yes.
Yes, accurate.
Quick question. Why do we all suddenly believe the guy that we didn't believe before?
Did we not believe him before?
Oh, I
There
guess
was
all
some
of you
talk
didn't
of-
believe him before.
There was some talk of doubt. And
The thing is,
I think
we can doubt that, but we can't ignore it because if it's right, we die if we ignore it.
Well, and if there is a black spherical gem somewhere within the bounds of this city that has some power to it, that at least will give our informant a measure of credential that we can start to test, hopefully.
Unless our informant is actually an enemy, in which case that black sphere coming into the Eidosphere's contact could spell the doom of all reality, but I understand and the desire to fuck it, just do magic.
Well,
All of my other characters from my other games is so appreciating Carolina's paranoia at the moment. But what if it's a double blind twist turn con?
Yeah,
and
which is
that's
great because Carolina is just mar magic bang.
Yeah.
that's a valid concern. I was speaking of the first stage of seeing if the gem exists and possibly step 2, acquiring it. But you're absolutely right. Whether or not we follow through on the entire plan will definitely be a conversation that needs to happen as well, if we're lacking further confirmation that sets our minds at ease.
There's a very popular term. I deal, as you can imagine, with generally disreputable people. Present company accepted, of course. Trust, then verify. Because there's really no, otherwise you simply think yourself in a circle and get paralyzed with inaction.
Fair enough. Well, if we need to know at least where to start looking, it sounds like Titania has a open invitation to ask such questions.
We did just get a personal request to speak with one of the more powerful people in the city. Specifically, you did. Well, it says looking for Tanya.
Yeah. But we don't even know if that's like connected at all. We have no idea where this thing is. It could be.
It can't hurt to ask someone as knowledgeable and magically capable as your mother.
Unless you can think of some reason why it might hurt.
No.
Like Ariel said, if we think about this too hard, we'll just think ourselves in circles of inaction.
And we, like I said, we can't afford to ignore this.
No. It's getting closer. Okay, so I have that. I also have this. I'll pull out a bag of. These will lead me to my. Hang on, let me look at my family tree again real quick. Great grandma, great parents.
Is this
Sorry, what are those?
They're fireflies. It's a bag of fireflies, and they will lead to a door, which I don't know where it is right now, but it's somewhere in the city. They hide it quite well.
Is this to find one of the original 3?
I cannot remember if they were one. No. I don't think so.
I like the idea that.
I mean, that's
Titania was not informed that these are
looking for the original 3 is when you looked for that door, though I don't know if it was to one of them directly.
No, it's your
great grandparents. Yeah. Amelina and Eystein are in the city.
Let me find those names just to verify.
Yeah, I've got the thing pulled up.
Can you send that back my way, because I seem to have lost my copy.
Yeah, sorry. Amelina Valkorian and Eystein Cadwallader, which is a great name.
Let me send that back my way so I can correct the pronunciation, because I know you're saying
yeah, I'm probably pronouncing them terribly.
Cadwallader is a way of pronouncing it.
Yeah. But they at least. I went and talked to, that's when we got the first one that we all that triggered everything, and we all started to remember when I was talking to the Archbishop. Nope, that's not it. Someone.
Canon?
Archcanon. I don't know.
No,
Is
the Archbishop. Yeah.
Archbishop.
the
Okay,
Archbishop,
yeah, the Archbishop, who's one of the
three, yeah.
three children.
Second born,
Uh,
specifically.
3 firstborn. Yeah. Here it is. Let me attach the file. Takes me a sec. That folder. That folder. That folder.
Womp. Ba-da-da-da-da.
There.
Thank you.
It's in Slack.
Yes, Amelina, Valkorian, and Estienne. Estienne.
Estienne?
Yeah, Estienne.
Estienne. Okay. Estienne Cadwallader.
Cadwallader, yeah.
Yeah. They
So-
know a couple of the they know the location of another for the first born.
So, do we have any ideas who might have the knowledge of where this thing is, of anyone who isn't directly a Valkorian family member?
I have contacts. I can check with them. I mean, weird, random, magical. That's the sort of thing that. Bounty hunters tend to run across and will get passed along. So I can certainly look around.
I could
After.
search.
There's also Relnor Weaveborn, potentially.
Yes.
That's an option, yes.
Or any
The-
arcane library in the city could perhaps scour it. They may not know the importance if there is something there.
Feels a bit like we're looking for a magical needle in a magical haystack, though. With this,
A magical needle in a city-sized haystack, to make it worse.
Yes, but if Carolina doesn't say magical twice, she can't imply that it's bad twice.
No, because a needle you can find with a magnet. If you're looking for a particular needle among other needles, they're all magnetic.
Well, this is maybe more magical than other things, and the city's not that magical. It's been kind of fading, right?
Which is why it's probably fairly well concealed. Otherwise, somebody would have found it by now.
Okay, we've got some time in the day. I'm gonna take a trip up to the Weaveborn archives because, honestly, of all of our contacts, he's the easiest one to have a conversation.
What are we telling everyone? Because he.
Quite frankly,
Yeah, that's the other side of things. Wasn't part of our job to report back?
Yeah, you have to report. You need to report back to
Barnabas?
yeah, tell us
yeah.
General
Given
Barnabas.
Yes,
all
Barnabas.
our recent transportation methods, we can put it off a day.
Yeah. Yeah, someone needs to speak to Barnabas. Quite frankly, Raelnor is sort of invested in the defense of the city and is someone that I feel like we can probably trust with the, hey, there's a hole of IDOS down there that we need to seal up.
Well, and
Hmm.
I would be cautious about going. I feel like it's a perfectly legitimate thing, especially amongst the arcane community, to simply say we've got a problem, but our research has led us to rough description of object as a possible solution.
Definitely.
Without
So-
any more specificity than that, unless it becomes imperatively necessary over the course of whatever conversation. Don't go in just leading with a lot of detail.
This is fair.
Maybe?
This is true and probably will be the best approach. However, we cannot go into this thinking we're going to solve everything ourselves.
Also valid.
Nobody was saying that.
But if we
Everyone knows my stance on the random paranoia of everyone around us.
if we distrust everyone and tell no one anything, we're not going to get.
No, but we find out who we can trust for certain before we tell people. I think is the key.
Enough details to be helpful. We don't need to tell everything.
Exactly.
Correct.
But
Anyways, if we know what we want to tell Barnatus, I don't mind taking that conversation.
so I'll head up to the Weaveborn district if you want to go find Lieutenant General Barnabas and just report the bad shit we found. Not necessarily anything further than that.
Nothing
just
from
our job.
visions, but what we observed and what we were able to infer about it.
Yes, the things that is strictly speaking what our job entails.
Can do.
And I will
Sort of-
go check
sort-
with. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Oh, no. Gent was just confirming the sort of things that will corroborate what the other Griffin companies are likely to report as well. Yes, exactly.
And I will go check with my contacts to see what there's anything there.
Okay.
I will head to as I look up the layers.
What's the details of your feature, Jeremy?
Shit. No, I don't. Hold on. Let me get the exact details.
I'm just trying to think of who I'm sending you to.
You are
You're
in
an urban
frequent contact with people in the segment of society that your chosen quarries move to. These might be people associated with the criminal underworld, the rough and rumbled poke of the city, or members of high society. It could literally be anybody, because you have, as a bounty
Yeah.
hunter, you have to have contacts in all
Yeah.
ranges of people.
I know who you're going to talk to then. So Valdez is going to Railnor. Caroline is going to Varnabas. Ariel is going to a specific dwarf.
Perhaps we should each take somebody with us so that we don't get attacked by whatever.
That's fair. Gent, Titania, one of you want to travel with me?
You go, Gant.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you going then?
Whoever,
All right.
Carolina or
Titania would be helpful given your status for what I'm trying to do, but
He is
Yep.
your relative. That is true.
I'll help with that.
I go with Ithram, Goblin Bros.
High five.
Leaves Ariel by herself.
I was gonna say.
That's fine. I can handle myself.
How
I'm-
long has it been since I sent Mal off?
Only a couple.
Would he be
days.
at least would he probably at least reached?
Yeah, he may have.
Oh.
He's probably reached there by now.
Okay, then I will just in his head will be like, sorry if anybody was using him, and then just summon him, and he'll pop out on my shoulder, and then he'll fly over to Ariel.
Ithram,
There's a bit of sand on him
you-
that shakes off as he reappears.
Oh, he
could,
was chasing a snake.
could you? I don't know exactly like what it's supposed to look like or something, but I can get a scroll here for the spell I was
Oh
talking about.
yes.
Could you buy me one? I'll hand over. I don't know how much gold it is for us.
Sorry, I forgot which scroll are you looking for?
The
You're looking
for
for
Find
summon
familiar?
a
familiar.
universalist
Oh,
spell
find familiar.
scroll of
Yeah, find familiar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Oliver has something very important to say. Can you say good night? Can you say I love you?
Good night.
Hi.
And who's your favorite person out of everybody here? And you cannot pick mommy. Ah, Aaron.
Yay!
Good job, baby. I love you. Say night.
Aaron is Oliver's favorite.
Oliver's favorite tonight. He is like a cat, very fickle
Mm.
in his favoritism.
Oh yeah. Crystal.
Okay. So,
I will pick that up on the way as well.
where are you going
Yes,
with him?
thank you.
the Weaveborn district, just because I think that's the only place that has has a arcane library.
Okay, cool. And as you all
Or, yeah.
all set out to go to your various places to do your various bits of research, that's where we're going to take a break. If you're watching on Twitch, please stay tuned for these commercial messages. In a bit. We're back. All right.
So, Jeremy, where are you gonna tell me where you can watch Chopping Mall?
We're gonna start with
Shudder.
Ariel. So Ariel,
Okay.
you head off into the wild west of Taram, because you know exactly who to talk to about magical oddities and things that are hard to come by. There is a dwarf in Taram named Ludovico, or Ludo for his friends, who is a black market dealer in magical rarities. He's the kind of person that you go to if you, for instance, you could have given him that demon armor and he would have made a pretty penny on it. That kind of, he will sell anything to anyone and he can get his hands on all the weirdest shit. So if you're looking for a unique item or an item that you're unfamiliar with that is definitely magical, Ludo's the person to talk to. So you actually head up Taram into you head up to Iakus, which is layer 8. Because he operates out of the hospital district.
That's not concerning at all.
Sorry,
I'm concerned.
he operates out of the hospital district. And so you go to the hospital district. There's several different sort of medical facilities of varying different purposes and things there. But there is on one side of one of the very few graveyards in the city, that are in the hospital district. There is a series of businesses that just happen to butt up against the graveyard, and one of them is a warehouse that Ludo operates out of. You get there, and the door is closed, and there's a sign that says, we're closed for the day. It's like 2 p.m, but there's a sign on it that says we're closed for the day. And that in order to get a meeting with Ludo, you basically have to. There's a secret wall that only people that know him know how to get into, and basically you go down the alley next to the warehouse and open up this secret door and go in. And if the warehouse is closed, he's in there.
Makes sense.
So
I will make my way.
Yeah, so you go down the alley. You feel for the bricks on the side of the wall. Push a thumb in, and the door slides open. You walk in, and you find yourself in an office space that is very well appointed. Very nice carpet on the floor, wood paneling on the walls. This is distinctly not a warehouse room. It's something that's sort of built into the back of the warehouse, and there's a fake wall that sort of hides it all. All manner of weird magical trinkets on shelves, on desks, hanging from sconces in the walls, and at the far end of the room, sitting at a desk, is Ludovico. Long black hair that's sort of slicked up and back and down to the nape of his neck. Short stubble. Strong dwarven features. And he's sort of currently examining something. It's like sort of a small square that is composed of smaller squares that each have a lot of colors on them that some seem to match and some don't. And he's sort of fidgeting with it. Ah, Ariel, one of my favorite customers.
How are things going for you?
Good. We got an auction coming up. You want to be there or not?
Normally I would love to, but I've been fairly busy.
Fair.
You know how it goes.
Oh yeah,
So
I sell people things, you arrest them, and then I manage to get my hand on the things I sold them. It's a nice little, give and take.
it's a wonderful arrangement, yes.
So,
Got a question. You speaking of things that you might have heard of. I heard word of an item
Mhm.
floating around, and I will describe it
you
in a
describe
general
anything?
sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Any idea of the size? And you don't, so you just shrug.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're talking about a soul stone. Now that's a mighty rare piece of magic that you're looking for there. Can I ask why?
Might say. At this point, I would normally love to explain, but at this point, let's say it's a fairly personal
Sure, sure.
situation.
Well, I've sold a few in my time. Necromancers love them. Capture some poor schmuck's soul, use it to power magic, various
Yes,
things.
I imagine that they do.
Haven't sold one recently, though, and not to anybody in Terra. But I can put some feelers out, see if anybody's got one they're holding on to.
That would be delightful. I'd be more than happy to pay. On average, what's the typical price?
For Ludo's information, or
For such an item?
oh, for the item. Oh, you're asking him what the price of the item would be.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yes.
Those things can run you.
Understanding it varies.
Yeah, those things can run you a couple 100,000 gold. Like, just one of those is enough to set up a dynasty, depending.
Makes sense.
Like I said, they're very rare.
Of course. Well, let me know.
Sure.
Usual arrangement applies.
Obviously, I'll bill you after I get the information. He sort of smiles.
Perfect.
Or would you like me to drop it off?
For the moment, there is my current living situation. House blah 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 blah.
Oh, you're with a Griffin company
Griffin
now.
Ward blah 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 blah. Yes.
All right. Yeah, I can drop it off there. I'll put it in a
Wonderful.
I'll put it in a plain brown envelope marked goods and services.
Delightful.
All right. Well, if there's anything else you needed,
That would be it right now. Thank you very much. I will leave you to. Obviously you're quite busy.
oh yeah, just neck deep. I'll have one of my boys drop it off to you a couple of days.
Thank you much.
Have a good one. I'll let you know if there's any scumbags buying magic
my
items
way.
that I need back.
That would also be delightful.
As you leave.
Yep, make my way out.
All right. We will jump over to Carolina and Tanya.
Hang on a second.
No worries.
Okay.
The two of you go up to Bellicus.
Yep.
And to the military headquarters in Bellicus, where there is, lots of people going around doing their everything. As you arrive and introduce yourselves, you are eventually brought before Varnabas, who is in the same war room that he was in the last time you guys met him, although this time there are different maps on the wall, and he's having different conversations. Looks over. Ah, you're the first ones back. So, what do you got for me?
The expedition was successful in finding the source, though unfortunately no one there was able to find a way to dispel it.
Mhm.
First, we determined further, well, this may be information to some, that the creatures formed of the the only word that's coming to my
Divine
brain
ether?
is Shadowlands, and that's wrong.
Shadowfront.
Shadowfront. The creatures formed of the Shadowfront are made of aether, and non-magical weapons have no effect upon them. He determined that at large blocks of singular forms of aether, especially those of the water, earth, radiant trinity.
It is the Umbral.
The Umbra Trinity are particularly difficult for it to convert, presumably because it converts everything into ethereal aether.
It converts everything into astral ether, which is radiant.
Sorry, my notes are a little scattered, so some of the terminology is going to be off. I think Carolina would probably get it all right.
Yeah, no. That's what I'm here for, to translate.
Into astral aether. The cause, or at least an item at the source that seems to be a likely culprit is a black shard over a lake that seems to be, as impossible as this theoretically is, a shard of Eidos. And Carolina will enumerate the details that she has enumerated before of what that entails.
He listens intently. Well, we'll probably have to go talk to the Archbishop about how to deal with that then. Good.
Of course. Is there any other details you would need from us?
Unless there's anything else you need to volunteer. That gives me a series of tasks to do before we can figure out a way to deal with this threat, but we at least know what it is now.
Nothing else that I can think of. Both the prince and his caretaker made it back safely.
Good. Oh, also, as a clarification, not that it matters much at the moment, you know that they are immune to non-magical weapons when they're in the Shadowfront. When they exit, obviously, they are not, because you guys killed them with non-magical weapons previously when they were at the tower.
Mm-hmm.
When they're in the source of their power.
That is probably not particularly novel information to someone who oversees a barrier on that area.
Yeah, so. But just for clarity's sake.
I'll communicate it anyways, but.
Just for clarity's sake for everyone. So that you guys know, too.
Yep.
We're good. Well, I'll wait until I get a report from the other two Griffin companies as well. And if we have further need of you, or if anything else comes up on your end, we'll get back in contact. So let us know if you find anything new.
Of course.
And we'll let you know if we need you again.
You have our address. Yeah.
All right. Dismissed. Because you guys got paid in advance.
And
so
I
he doesn't have
managed
pay
to
you now.
escape making a deception check. Do I have to make one, or
No, you didn't say anything that was a lie.
except for the I have more information part? But
Well, yeah,
cool.
but, you have no more actionable information
me.
for him. So. All right. Sorry, I'm just now seeing what Jack was saying in the chat. Speaking of who, Valdeth and Ghent. You're heading up, along with Ithram and Skuz. You are all heading to the Weaveborn district. When you get there, you go separate ways, because I am assuming Valdeth, you and Ghent are going to the tower itself, and Ithram, you and Skuz are going to a library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll start with Valdeth and Ghent.
Rainbow.
You go up to the Black Tower of Relnor Weaveborn and place your hand on
the way. Valdeth sort of like as they're walking to Ghent. I know I probably shouldn't tease her quite as much as I do, but I understand that impulse to try and escape the unique stresses of this kind of life. But
It's quite fair. No, what the it's difficult a bit. The family disapproval thing is something that I share with you characteristically, I think, and the idea that Titania's parents wish to engage with her in a more traditional sense feels important to me a bit, I think, which is why sometimes I make the choices I do regarding that side of things, I suppose. But
I know I shouldn't tease her for the escape she looks for quite so much, but I know that feeling, and I know what it feels like, and I know that's not the best escape to find.
it's a technique that I think a lot of people recognize as easy to abuse. On the other hand, if it's not hurting anybody else necessarily, you can see where that comes from. We all cope with things in our own way, and I think that's where I stand on it, more or less.
I should go easier on her, though.
Do you need my help with that?
I think I just need to remember not to give her such a hard time.
Well, cultural differences notwithstanding. I mean, I don't know how these sort of things are usually handled in Everstone, so don't go too hard on yourself for coming where you come from. As well, all right? If you're going to go easy on the people that you're partnered with, it's important to extend the same empathy to yourself.
I've got a complicated situation back home to deal with.
And I look forward to pointing a gun at it sometime.
They've got a lot of guns too, you know.
Well, then I'll be meeting somebody on equal footing for a change.
Especially my family. Ugh. They're the ones who built the big guns around Everstone.
Big guns are for big targets.
Yep.
Giants, specifically.
Gent speaks giant.
And,
all right, I'm going to let you take the lead on this conversation that we're about to have. Though.
Yes.
All right.
I'll at the very least, I find Railnor easy to talk to. I don't know about everybody else.
Easier, but yes, no, I think he's a bit off-putting to a few individuals.
It's very easy to talk to a person who is functionally omnipotent.
Look, you know what I'm gonna say, so let's go through this.
Not omniscient, omnipotent. There's a difference.
Yes, I put my hand on the door and turn around.
And you put your hand on the door, and you're inside. Variety of people milling about in here at the moment. Seems like something relevantly important is happening in the college. People milling about with papers, some in what are very obviously like sort of student attire. Others that are in teacher attire, moving about the sort of entryway. The reception desk has a line.
Valdez just kind of looks at the ceiling and, Railnor, if you're listening in, we have important news and information you could probably use, and could probably use your help too.
No response.
I was hoping he'd be listening in. Well, let's see if that's a long line.
You look over.
Oh,
you
we're
look
at
over.
the Wizard DMV.
You look over to one side, and you see a sign that says something about welcome to Pledge Week. Sign up for your various things here.
That makes sense. Is there a more general information desk that might have a shorter line?
There is one of the carved walls has an I over it. The letter I, not a physical I. Maybe.
Yeah. Let's give that one a try. Doesn't seem to be a line there.
Walk over, touch the door, turn around. You're in a different room. There's not a line because you just touch the wall and you're there. There is a line on the other side, though, as you see various people of various ages, some family units that seem to be lining up, filling out paperwork and things. Congratulations, you came to the Weaveborn College in the middle of admissions season.
Yep. Well, let's see if we can figure something out.
It is a college, actually.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
At the very least, bureaucracy and red tape are something I'm familiar with from home.
So.
We wait in line.
You wait in line. It takes you a little bit.
You get the 3 shots of the same clock and just the hands move individually.
It cuts back and you guys are a little further ahead, a little further ahead.
Right, yep.
When you get to the front of the line, there is a purple-skinned elf sitting there with sunglasses on, looking at you. Yes, how can I help you?
Hi, Steel Hearts. Here with some relevant information to deliver to Railnor Weaveborn regarding the Shadowfront and information therefrom.
She looks down, picks up a tombstone, skims through it really quick. Unfortunately, Railnor is busy for the next 3 days. Let me see if there is a spot where we can put him down for her. Oh, what was the name again?
Steel Hearts.
Griffin Company, okay.
Looking for my name, it's Valdez Stonebeard.
Okay. Well, I can make an appointment for you. The next opening that he has to meet with people is 3 days' time.
It's not like we're exactly crunched on time here.
All right. I will put down an appointment for Valdez.
Pardon, but doesn't Master Weaveborn have the capacity to move outside the linear flow?
Generally speaking, he does, yes.
That's how busy he is.
My. Steps back. Shot.
It's like, yes, he does. That's how busy he is.
Well, if you get the moment to send a message to him, if you could let him know we were looking for him.
Certainly. If it would help, while Master Weaveborn is busy.
What was his assistant's name
Hey,
again?
that's
Yeah.
Verity is available to chat.
Verity would at the very least be helpful.
Certainly. Give me one moment to give him a call. And she sort of indicates to a chair for you to go sit in. And after a few more minutes, Verity appears. This dark brown skin, blue dreads that are sort of cut short and held up. Yes.
Good to see you again.
Steelhearts, yes. Pleasure to see you. What can I do for you?
Yes. Well, we just came back from the Shadowfront on an exploration mission.
Mm-hmm.
And have some relevant information for Railnor and potentially yourself, as well as something that might be helpful that we might need to look for.
Well, I'm sure they already talked to you about his schedule. He is pretty packed right now. But I can pass something along.
So we've learned. Mm-hmm.
Or if you have the answer, you're
Yeah.
just as much
My-
an expert as anybody else around here.
My arcane knowledge certainly does not equate to Master Weaveborn's, but I can give you a hand.
Well, this information is probably going to end up in General Barnabas's hands shortly, so it'll spread throughout the higher echelons eventually. But she'll run down the events of the exploration and specifically focus on the shard of Eidos found in the lake.
Oh, yes. As I recall, those were a problem some 10,000 years ago as well. Might be some resources that could be used to infer how to deal with that. The Black Archives of Core might have some additional information.
That might be a thing to look into.
Has Gent ever heard of those?
Give me a Arcana check.
Okay. 24.
The Black Archives in Core is a magical and hidden repository of knowledge that is, amongst mages, is lauded as the most complete library you will ever find, though finding it is difficult and navigating it even more so.
Okay.
Other than that, there was an artifact that we were given a lead on that might be able to do something. It's not much of a lead, but it's what we've got. And she'll sort of describe the artifact as it was
Visualized.
Yeah.
You're describing a soul stone. Those
Are we?
are yes, those are dangerous items. Typically used as components for dark magic. Though they do have other uses, obviously. They absorb and contain the souls of the dead. Or the
Could a
living.
powerful enough soulstone absorb a shard of Eidos potentially?
Potentially. I'd imagine maybe if it had something that the shard was drawn to within it already. I'd have to know. I'd have to see the soul stone itself to confirm. But that is the shards
But
of
it's
Eidos
possible
are
that
shards
a
of
linkage could be.
Yes, well, shards of Eidos are shards of her divine souls. So a soul stone theoretically would be able to capture one.
Interesting. I mean, that's a fairly direct sort of solution.
It would take anything like that would be impossible to destroy, though. You'd have to put it in the hands of something equally divine to get rid of it afterwards. Though I have no, the Emperor might be able to get rid of such a thing. I have no idea.
All right.
Well, he is keeping the Shadowfront at bay, so
Possibly.
he's at least on a similar plane of potency.
At least gives us something to go on, though.
I can run this all past Master Reborn when he has a moment. So, if I learn anything
Thank
else,
you.
I'll
Let him know we were looking for him, and
certainly.
let him know what we told you, of course.
Certainly. And we'll send a message to you if anything
And
relevant
he knows
pops
he
up.
knows where to contact us if he he knows where to contact us.
All right. Well then, shall I show you to the door?
Please.
Thank you.
This is a very complicated place to get around
He walks over.
as a not magic user.
He walks over to a blank piece of wall. No worries, we have shortcuts. And he pulls out a small signet ring, and just touches it to the wall and turns his hand. And as he does, runes appear that seem very similar to the door that is the exit. Simply place your hand,
What hand?
and you're outside again.
That was
Soulstone,
actually useful information, even if we didn't get to see Raelnar.
I have a feeling that Verity is underestimated by a number of people that do get to meet Raelnar.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So a soulstone.
You're the personal assistant to a person
Alright.
that is functionally a god. Yeah. There's probably
You
probably
better
a
at least
reason
be
for
good.
that.
All right, yeah.
Everyone
Alright.
overlooks the god's secretary. They're the one you need to be really scared of.
Exactly.
So, somewhere in the city, there's a soul stone. And it's a soul stone that has something that IDOS would be attracted to in it already.
I mean, one possible explanation, yes. Or our informant might simply be giving us the first step, and then our
Maybe.
job will be to
And
fill
to
it
find-
with
yes,
something.
fill the soul stone, yes.
So
But there's a step at least.
it's definitely a step, but very rare dark magics. I have a feeling this is not something that we're going to necessarily just find in a long forgotten cave in this city.
Speaking of dark magics, I need to find some platinum so I can make something for you so you don't have to keep carving yourself up.
Speaking of dark magics, I have a family that I'd like to fix eventually too, just like we need to yours.
How do you fix this problem when your only tool is a gun?
You shoot him and
You
take over
shoot
the
'em.
house.
Also,
I've got the one. I've
Ah.
got the one relative that I care about out of that house already.
Patricide.
Yep.
also, I need to find materials for rings. What do you think would be a good material for yours? I'm thinking mine probably adamantine, just because that's a nice solid metal. And
Cobalt's a really good metal.
I don't know if there's a. It's also poisonous.
Not once it's been worked.
Yeah.
This ring's made out of cobalt.
Yeah. Adamantine.
Oh, we've got adamantine, platinum. We've got the cobalt that you and I mined out of the mountains outside the Shadowfront.
I don't. I'm not familiar with working ironwood, but I feel like that would be the best material for Titania's ring.
I'm sure we can find an expert in the area that could at least either give us an assist or some instruction on it.
Meanwhile, Ithram and Skuz,
Yes.
you go to
Yeah.
a library.
I'm so excited.
Shelves and shelves of books.
I pat Skuz on the back and cast Enhance Ability for Fox's Cunning. So for the next hour, he has advantage on intelligence checks.
I'm very smart,
I know this.
but now I am big brain smart.
You always
Big wrinkle brain.
You are always
Alright.
big brain smart.
So, for research rolls, here's how it works.
Yes.
You can make an intelligence check to do research roll. You can spend money at 50 gold intervals to give you additional pluses to that intelligence check, up to a +6.
Okay.
Basically hiring the librarian to help you.
Yeah, you paying people to help you and things like that, and buying
Yeah.
rare books and things like that.
300 gold pieces?
50, 100, 150.
Yeah, that would be
200, 250, 300. Yeah. So 300 would get you a +6, and that's the maximum you could spend. And it's just a flat
Advantage,
intelligence check.
And then a +6 on top of.
Oh, it's
my
not
already-
not a skill.
No, it's not a skill. It's just intelligence.
Okay.
Okay. Skuz is going to run over to the librarian and slam down 300 gold pieces. And just be like, help me find this, please.
They will help
Ithram
there.
will do the same.
Bribing
Not quite with
This
the
is
exact
all
same.
Just these two goblins are just like,
Just-
help.
All right, we need to know some shit.
The hobgoblin.
Yeah.
It's a hobgoblin and a goblin. The hobgoblin is nice and tall.
We're both goblinoids.
Mm-hmm.
As you bribe the librarians to help you find stuff.
Not bribe.
Yeah.
This money is going back into the library. It's a charity donation.
I will markup.
That's what Scuzz
Support
is
your,
going to
support,
think.
support your local libraries, folks.
Support
Yep.
your local library.
Bribe your librarians, everybody.
Don't Mara, could we bribe you?
I was gonna say, Mara, how many gold have you gotten
most
when you come
library
in?
bribe, at least from my experience with libraries, don't go towards research costs. They go towards, could you maybe get me to the front of the computer line?
So go ahead and make your rolls with your with the pluses equivalent to how much gold you spent.
Okay.
I'm gonna just
So-
go ahead and take that out. Alrighty. And just a straight
Flat
intelligence check.
It's an intelligence
But
check.
you do have advantage because you have Fox's Cunning.
Does enhanced
Do
ability
I-
work if it's not a skill check?
Yes, it's just
yes.
ability checks.
Yeah, any
that it
ability
doesn't-
check.
So you have
So-
advantage from the enhanced ability then as well.
Yay! Roll damage.
I'll spend an inspiration.
Okay.
Plus 6, that's a 20. That's a flat 20.
Yep.
For shiggles, I will also spend a point of inspiration.
I rolled the same thing.
No.
Are you gonna save face?
I already used it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
And it would only be- It would go up to 19.
Scuzz got. Because that's at the plus 6. Scuzz got a 24.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Scuzz hired the good librarian.
So Ithram,
Yes.
you learn that the thing you're looking for is called a soul stone,
Mm-hmm.
and that this wouldn't have that much information. You learn it's called a soul stone, and you know that it is a very rare and valuable piece of magic, like super fucking rare.
Yeah.
Like you're not just gonna find these
Yeah.
lying around. You're not gonna be able to find it in a shop.
Yeah.
Scuzz, you learn that it's called a soul stone. You also learn that they are forged magically through ethereal vortexes. These are soul stones are forged from places where magic gathers and pools, and it creates these crystalline things that can house all manner of magical effects, including soul stones. So they occur naturally, which is part of why they're so rare. You can't make them; you have to find them. And you also learn that things that are in them can be used to power a great many things magically. Soul stones are very potent material components. They can be used to substitute a vast quantity of material components for certain spells. Basically, any necromancy spell you can use energy from a soul stone in place of any material component for a necromancy spell, which is part of why they're so sought after and so expensive. And that to refill them, you just have to kill somebody. So, that's what the two
That checks out.
between the two of you. That's what you learn.
Wild. This thing called a soul stone. You can refill it by killing somebody. Insane. I know, right?
That checks out. Name lives up to
Uh,
reputation, I guess.
You can't make it though. Yeah,
Oh.
it has to be naturally formed in the earth. Quick question: why do we need to know about this again?
So that we know what exactly we're looking for
Okay.
and why it may be important to closing this. And
I
if
might
this
have
is,
forgotten. On
that's
the
all right.
way
You
here.
showed off your big brain by finding this information.
I was just really, really nice with the lovely librarian lady. Her name is Marina. And she and I are best friends. You just like cut to the librarian. She's like, I wanted to get him out of here as quickly as possible.
Also,
Well,
my
this
name
is
is
good.
Elizabeth.
Name tag right here.
Comment's hard.
So, you find all that information out.
Okay.
And as the Steel Hearts reconvene from all the corners of Taram, that's where we're going to end for this week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.